It's okay because there's like a
Oh, we're
30
live
second
now.
delay.
We
Are
are
we
live
live?
now.
Hi.
Hi. So sorry we're late.
Hi.
Thank you for sticking around.
Oh no. Sorry guys, that's on me. I literally busted my
So sorry we're late now. Thank you for sticking around. Ooh,
Sorry.
Sorry.
is that echo from you?
Is that me?
It's me.
Oh!
I didn't realise I had our stream open on 2 tabs. So when I just reacted for a second, it's because one of them started playing and then the other one started playing, but I didn't realise I had a second tab open. So I was like, what is going on? Sorry, everyone.
I forgive
God.
you.
Yeah. I shocked myself for a second. I was thinking, wait, do I have issues or something? Why can I hear myself again? And then I realised I didn't turn it on mute. Okay. Yeah.
Was it me? But
No.
mine's on like a different screen. How would it work?
I mean, I've got it on my iPad, like, so, and I've definitely turned it down, haven't I? Yeah.
We just all like watching ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyway, how is everybody?
Yeah.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Yeah.
Wait, does everyone celebrate? Because I know in the UK we have bank holidays and Easter like holidays, but I don't know, do they have it elsewhere? I wonder if they're like chilling like us right now.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Do you have? I don't know if there are even Easter bank holidays in the US.
No, I don't think there is.
Wait, do
Tell
they even
us,
have bank
guys,
holidays?
tell us.
They'll have they have different days, like Independence Day and Labor Day.
Oh,
please, otherwise inform me.
Either way, we've come prepared. I say we. I've literally got like a bit of chocolate in a bowl, like that I started eating yesterday, so I'm going to finish it today. And yeah.
Would you ladies like to see my Easter egg?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I say mine. Technically, I'm sharing.
Oh, you know. Oh my God.
It was like, does it have a cup at the bottom as well to hold it?
Yeah.
Why is it so... Oh my God.
That's massive. Quick question. When you guys have an egg, right? An Easter egg, how do you open it? Do you just smash it on your head? Because I've been brought no, I haven't been brought up to do that, but we do that when we were kids. We just smashed it on our head to break it. Is it just
I
me?
was gonna say, I mean, the egg we had earlier, I thwomped it onto the table, but not on my face.
Just smack it at your partner.
Like when we were kids, like for real, like if it was Easter, the way we would crack open the egg because we couldn't do it like that, we would just smash each other over the head. Like me and my brother would hit each other over the head with the chocolate egg. Like, is that not a thing? Like, I genuinely thought that was a thing.
Your family traditions.
Oh. Like,
it's interesting though. No judgment.
I was literally like, Kaylin, if you hit somebody over the head with that, you're gonna kill them. Don't do it.
Someone was murdered by Easter
Ben,
egg.
I know you're watching. We're gonna smash this on your face and see if it breaks.
Oh my God, I'm not the only one. People were saying it.
Else.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm not crazy.
I don't know if I feel more crazy knowing that that you're not the only one.
Yeah, I'm quite concerned.
It's just like you have a nice, good thwomp on the table. It was therapeutic.
I do the finger thing. Maybe I've been eating cheap chocolate. Punch it.
Throw it in the air, and it was more you'd like put it on the table and go.
Oh, right. Not someone throwing it at you like and then the baseball flies off.
Oh my gosh.
Is the Easter egg that you were holding, was it filled or was it just the outer chocolate that's 1 kg?
I'll probably have to like. I'm fairly sure this is hollow. I'm fairly sure this would weigh a lot more if it was solid. But it's definitely like. I don't know if you can like.
It sounds a bit hollow.
It feels
Yeah, that
thick.
sounds hollow. Oh, she thick.
With like multiple C's.
Multiple seeds.
C's.
C's.
Wait, hang on.
Oh! I was thinking, why
Wait,
does
is
the
it
egg have
factual?
a seed? I'm thinking of like
Seed.
yeah.
You were on that Faku website for too long.
Yeah.
Wait, was that what you guys were on
University
before
instead.
I was here? This is fine.
I read a Faku volume last night, and I was telling Tiffany about it. Well, ish. I gave her the name of it, and she was trying to find it.
And I couldn't find it on just Google. I had to go on the actual Faku website to.
Oh my god,
help.
did you actually?
And I saw some panels. I was like, but I won't give my opinions, like because I can't. I haven't read the series. Well, not the volume, and I haven't seen actual. Yeah.
I can give you the quick PG, well, as PG as I can.
Oh,
Mate, it's Paco. There's no way that is PG.
But I can try and describe it in a PG kind of way if you like.
The title sounds nice though.
Okay,
The title sounds nice, and the
title?
cover is actually like there's nothing like untoward.
I'm gonna Google it. What? No, wait. I have to go on the website, right?
Wait, what was the title again? Something straight line.
It's a straight line till you fall in love, I think. Now, of course, anyone watching this,
oh my god, what the heck?
would not Google it.
You can preview some of the pages as well.
What is it called? What is it called?
It's a straight line till you fall in love.
I'm just waiting for her to see the preview panels and it's just
It's
scrolling
a straight
through, like
line
zooming in.
once you fall in love.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Hang on, chapters.
Again, anyone underage in the chat?
Wait, it won't even let me see it. How do you see it?
I don't know. I saw it.
Oh
like...
wait, no. Do you just?
Yeah.
Oh my god! What is that?
Yeah, weirdly, probably the most tame Faku volume I've read so far.
When I saw it, I thought it was a harem for a second.
Yeah.
Wait,
and you get sunlight in the middle of the volume as well. You don't just get color at the beginning; you get color like in the middle as well.
Ooh, what a treat!
Wait, are they?
I know, spoilt.
Are they in?
Also, genuinely, Faku volumes are probably some of like the nicest publishing print quality, like of all that I have in my like.
Dude,
I would say they're even a bit nicer than like Square Enix.
I'm not being funny, but like on one of these panels, they just be like one banging in the middle of a bloody gym with everybody around them. Like,
right? Okay.
We'll get
a story reason. There is a story reason.
There's a story reason. What?
There's a story reason.
Please explain.
Basically, there's this club which treats the act they are doing as a sport. And there was like a competition
of exercise, so
and people like but they like compete in like a hall with people watching and judges, and it's televised, and they get rated on like different things.
Why do I feel like this is an actual show that exists in Japan?
Because it probably would be in a really weird way.
I can just see their wacky like game shows that they would do.
Yeah. So they have to, there's a whole bunch of like, and they have like different sets. Like you might have a 5-minute set and a 20-minute set and a 30-minute set. And
wait, what are they trying to compete though?
What do you mean? It's like meant to be like an art form sport. So like gymnastics, like where you do different like positions and.
Oh, it's the splits, darling. And down in shut up.
We're not even 10 minutes in this live.
I'm gonna stop myself.
This is even flavorful content right now.
Why do I keep looking at it as if like anything's gonna change? I'm like looking at it thinking, what the heck is going on? But I'm like, I need to put the phone down.
Yeah. Delete your history.
See, you just buy them physical the night like I do, then you don't have any history.
That is true. Oh my god. Reese has actually said to me, because I moved my two Fire in His Fingertips up to the top shelf because I had to move around. And like Reese, I said, I've put it to the top shelf, but I'm a bit concerned in case anybody comes in the room and is like, what is that? And then he was like, well, what's so bad about it? And I opened it up and I was like, oh, should have done that. And he was like, what have you been reading? And I'm like, it's fine. You have your things and I have mine, so it's fine. Not a problem. So,
at least with Fire in His Fingertips, the spines are fine. On Faku volumes, a lot of them have things on the spine. So I've got because sometimes I take pictures or I film and I forget about them. So I've kind of just left little bits of Post-it note covering the bare boobs or downstairs areas.
Yeah.
There's on a couple of them was just a little bit of Post-it note on the spines.
Wait, do you actually cut up Post-it note or something just to stick it on?
I rip up a bit of a Post-it note, the sticky bit, and then just leave it on the spine.
Oh goodness.
Well, there was one I was filming it, and then I went back and looked at it. I was like, you can really see the boob in this one.
Add more Post-it notes on top.
It's just you can't read the titles on these anymore, but it's PG.
This is true. It was really funny because when you do your hauls and I'm like, oh, that one's saucy.
I just have my stack of Post-it notes on one of my shelves now, and it's like, oop.
Oh my god, you should totally color code them. So if it's real bad, it should be a red one, and if it's it's just a little bit saucy, okay, it's an amber one, we might be able to cope with that. What was that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, the Toddy shout.
Someone, I don't know, some knobhead outside my room. I don't know what he was doing. Oh, this is what it's like living in a uni accommodation. You have people smashing your door, it feels like it's falling down, and then you hear arguments between couples, and then you hear all these scandalous things where someone's cheating or something. One time, the person opposite me, I think she cheated on her boyfriend's best friend or something, and he came and knocked down her door and was like, I know you're doing something in there, open the door. And then, how can you do this to me? I'm like, oh god. And here's me looking through my peephole, with my stool as well. I can't reach the peephole, so I had to put my stool down first, and then climb up, and I'm like, to see what's going on, because it was so loud. And he's like, how can you do this to me? Of course, cheating. I do not. What's the right word? Is it condone or condemn? One of those
don't
words.
Condone it.
Not, I don't agree with it. So when I was like, but this is kind of entertainment as well at the same time. It's so bad. Yeah, the stuff that goes on in the accommodation is crazy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I feel like my uni accommodation was pretty tame in comparison. We had noise issues, but it was really tame otherwise. Everyone was pretty all right. We had one issue where someone was being a bit of a they were making lots of noise. It was 3 a.m. and it was mid-exam week. And someone used salad cream and wrote the C word on the carpet outside her door.
Oh, that's what you mean. Someone in the middle of exam week were doing their business too loud at 3 a.m.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, stress release, I guess. I was like, yeah. But no, like, I thought you were going to mention, was it someone that was living in your accommodation that had their stuff removed and brought downstairs, or someone got loo rolled or something? Like the whole room
there was I think it was, we were doing a Christmas, we were doing like, because I lived in like, it was like a block, so there were 3 floors, 7 people on each floor, and then there was a big like communal like landing, and then so like the landing was like squared off, and then people were around it, so you could like easily commune on the landing. And I think we were doing like there was 21 of us, so we were making Christmas dinner together. It was quite wholesome. And one of the guys, and like, I'm just gonna preface this with, I'm still really close with him. I'm going to his wedding in a couple of months. Like, we're all still good.
Okay.
He was like in the kitchen, and his room was like, so the door to the kitchen was here, door to his room was here. They shared wall. The fact he didn't notice, we don't understand. He never locked his door, so people went in, and when I say took everything out, I mean the entire bed. I mean his wardrobe, his desk, his chair, literally the only stuff left in the room was like rubbish, like wrappers and stuff. And they took it and they remade his room on the landing on the floor below. And literally we were all stood, like, because this was the middle of the floor, we stood on the middle of the floor. We watched him like come out of the kitchen, look at us all, and he was like, what are you all doing? He was like, nothing. Open his door, go into his room, and there was like a 5-second delay where he suddenly came out like, where's my room? And then there was like a line of us on the stairs going down, so we were like went following down, and there was just like 3 guys in his bed, but it wasn't even a single bed. So I don't actually understand how all three of them managed to get in, especially since one of them was like, he played rugby and was like 4 times my size. Yeah, he was big, 6'5". He was in the middle, and then he had a guy on either side of him under the duvet, and he was like, all right. My friend was just like, will you put it back? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, all right. And then went back up and continued helping in the kitchen.
Oh,
he was just like completely did not care. But there was just him coming out, where's my bed?
With everything.
Oh my god.
I feel like this stream is turning into like a story time where we just talk about our most embarrassing like memories or something.
I literally cannot relate to you guys because I didn't go to uni, so I literally have none of those like fun stories. Which
my block had a weird obsession with Ainsley Harriott as well.
Who's that? Let me.
You don't know who Ainsley Harriott is?
Wait!
How could you not know that?
Ooh, saucy.
Okay, no. Before everyone comes at me in the chat. Oh yeah, of course I know him. Sorry, I was thinking like. Sorry. I didn't know his name was called Ainsley Harriott. Oh, interesting. I love him. Like, I love his commentary.
We had like a proper obsession, and we printed off, when I say hundreds, I mean literally hundreds of pictures of his face in various sizes. So we went from like this small all the way up to A4. And unfortunately, the same guy whose bedroom got decanted, we like hid the pictures everywhere in his stuff, including his food. And like I put it like not me, someone else put them in his like coffee granules. And this one actually wasn't me. He really liked cheese, and like they put it between every slice of his cheese in the fridge. And then it became a bit of a like, if you found one, you had to go and hide it somewhere else. To like the point where they ended up just like, I found one in my bathroom once. We had like little en-suites in this block, and there was just like, I remember lifting my toilet lid and there was an Ainsley Harriott on there, and I don't understand how it got there because I always locked my door.
Maybe one time, maybe you had a friend over and they just quickly stuck it on.
My theory is because now this is considering I went to Hull. This all sounds way fancier than it is, but we had these mini balconies. And it was like, and sometimes like I'd leave it open. So I wonder, because people did used to do this. I wonder if someone climbed around
Oh
because
my
it happened a
god!
lot.
I remember one.
Damn, that's crazy. Imagine like someone just comes into your room, like sees the door open, like, oh hi, just thought
Well,
might join you.
multiple times on like nights out. Again, not
Yeah.
me, because like genuinely not me, because I like this terrifies me. If someone was on, because we had 3 floors, if you had people on the ground floor and you had your balcony door open, you could just like hop over and go in.
Whoa.
And often like drunk people would just like walk into random ones and start like taking things. Or my friend used to like swapping things around, so we'd go in and like find a pair of shoes and swap them around.
Wait, what? Sorry, I just misheard that. Swap
Like
shoes?
my friend, so he'd like any rooms, he'd like run in, find a pair of shoes, and then swap them the pair around. So like left was on the right and right was on the left.
Oh, that's so specific. I thought you meant they took someone else's room shoes.
Oh, let's swap them in the different room.
Yeah, I thought that's what she meant, not as in like just put them the other way around.
Oh my god.
That's very
I
specific.
don't think his brain capacity was that strong when he was drinking.
I actually don't have any stories at all. The only story that I can remember off the top of my head was like when we were young, like when I mean like young, I mean like in middle school young. We'd done like a field trip to the Isle of Wight for a week where we were in, I can't think what it's called now. Was it Woods Hills? I don't remember what it was. It was somewhere over the Isle of Wight. I literally can't remember.
Yeah.
And we were staying in dorms, and like the dorms had bunk beds, and there was like 10 to 12 people in each room. And like obviously they separated the boys from the girls, but from my room and like the guys' room, there was only separated by like a corridor and then a door, and then it was the guys. And then we had one window at the end of our room. And like back then I was an absolute baby and I was afraid of the dark, so we had to have, and there was a couple of us that were as well, so we had to sleep with the door open. Like, so I remember I was right near the door on the bottom bunk, and one of the boys had been told off and was put our side of the door, so in the corridor it was like the girls' dorm side. And this kid decided to crawl on his hands and knees through our dormitory, like through our room to the other end, stand up and look around, and then pop off and then crawl back out again. But nobody realized that I was awake because I could see him do it, and I was like, do I say something? Do I not? And then he went back and sat out. And then there was another one, because the boys' dorms were literally, they were like boys and girls' dorms. Our one was like next to the guys. Like we kept hearing knocking and we had no idea what it was, and we looked out the window and some idiotic child had climbed out of their dorm window, crawled around to ours and started like smacking his face up against the window and like really shit us all up. Like it was so scary. But yeah, that was my story time. That's literally the only thing. Like it's not as elaborate as anyway, it's so boring. But yeah, that was my story time.
I'm thinking, do I have anything? I think I have plenty, but I'm very forgetful. I just need someone to stimulate my brain. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember doing this.
Them out.
I remember doing that. I always come out with those like the most nonsense. Like sometimes I feel like I give like very odd commentary, like it just comes out like word vomit, and people are like, what? I'm like, yeah. Like, basically, this is kind of a spoiler of like my Monday's upload when I go manga shopping. But basically, people are gonna just bash me because I don't know what the people's names are. But you know the main guy character in Jujutsu Kaisen?
Itadori? No, it's not Itadori. Is it Itadori?
Me don't know. I need to start the series, so that's my excuse of not knowing the name. But basically, it was on a t-shirt, and I'm like, oh, is that the guy that ate his own finger? And then everyone's like, and I'm like, I was editing my video yesterday, and I did a live reaction of me like making that comment. I was thinking, how dumb can I be? Like, I don't know the series like that, but why would he eat his own finger? Like, that wouldn't make sense. Why would he eat his own finger and he will turn into some? No, this, like, yeah. But yeah, I always come up with the most, like, nonsense, I feel like. Yeah.
I popped in the chat if anybody had any questions, just to let us know, and I think we have a couple of them.
So there's...
What
do we think of case study of Vanitas?
Right here. I haven't read it yet.
You haven't read it? Have you read it at all?
It's because, like, I wanted to get more volumes. However, it's really hard to get the other volumes. So I'm like, what's the point in reading volume 1 when I won't be able to, like, continue it at all? Like, yeah, it's, like, impossible. I think volume 5 was available for a bit. And then after, like, all the volumes were hard to get. And I was like, what? So I'm just currently waiting for, like, more volumes than starting it. But yes.
How about you, Caitlin?
Right now. I have volumes 1, 2, and 4, and then, like, just as I started to read it, I think the anime came out, and I'm just waiting for reprints. Like, the Empress are reprinting it. They've already reprinted volume 1. I don't know if it's like gotten to the UK yet. And
I think it had done. When I was up in London, I saw a load of them up in Forbidden Planet, so I think it is slowly starting to. Yeah.
I think the way Yen Press are doing it is like they're reprinting the volume 1, seeing how like much people want it, see how much it sells, and then if it sells well, they'll like continue volume 2 as there is much uptake, and volume 3 as there is much uptake. But yeah, I read the 2 volumes I have, and I enjoyed it. I just
I've got the first 2 volumes. I read the first one, and then I was really excited to read it because I was like, Pandora Heart looked or Pandora's Box.
Pandora's Heart.
No,
Pandora Heart. Yeah, like that looked really interesting and dark. So I was just like, oh, it's done by the same author. So Caitlin sent the first one over to me and I was super excited, and I read it and I was like, oh, I'm not entirely sure how I feel. There wasn't enough in it to be like off we go. But then I watched the anime and then I was just like, yeah, it's got me back in. So I managed to get the second volume. So now I'm just waiting on the reprints because it looks so much fun. And because like all of the Pandora, whatever it is, it's gone out of print, and I don't want that to happen to this because it looks so interesting and it's like vampires and I love it.
I'm pretty sure like the volumes will come back soon because if the anime had so much love, I'm pretty sure it's just taking its time with every series right now. We're just waiting for reprints.
I think it's a bit like Toilet Ban Hanako-kun because that blew up massive, and then loads of the volumes literally just disappeared, and more are coming back into stock. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, when I was in Leeds during the week, they had lots of volume 1 and they had lots of the latest volume, and they had like quite a few, like 7 and 11. I can't remember. It was like 2 random volumes in the middle of the series. They had quite a few of.
Do you find that, just out of interest, you lived near like Forbidden Planets, right? So, or you have easy access to them. Like, do you find that their stock levels are really good, or what? Because like I don't live near a Forbidden Planet or anything like that, but the manga the places that are near me that sell manga are like so bad when it comes to the types of series they have. It's like the same old, and nothing seems to get moved or shifted. It's just the same things. So every time I go in, I'm like, oh, there's nothing to pick up. Like, So it's always online, and it's so frustrating because it's like, if only there was a Forbidden Planet in Brighton, damn it. Like,
like the one that's close to me, if you see a volume that is in stock, it's best to get it then because it won't restock until probably like months time, like probably like 5 or 6 months time. And like they do tend to do a weekly like shuffle, I feel like. So every week when I go in, I do see something like, oh, I can pick this up. There have been weeks where I'm like, oh, there's just no stock, or it's probably because there's no new release that I'm sorry, they're screaming again. Can you hear that? I don't know.
A little bit.
Just a tiny bit. You're okay.
Okay. There's like times where they like there's some weirdos. Like sometimes they make like the craziest like moaning noises. I'm like, why do you make? It sounds like you're hurting right now. Not like they were doing it. It's just when they walk past, they just want to make noises, you know. But yeah. Oh, there was a story where I remember I was like one time I think I was chilling with my man, and like my window was like opened like really big, and we can just hear one room either above us or below us, like the noises that they were making. I thought it was a whale. I thought it was a dying whale. Like I was like, what is going on? And he was like, oh, it's probably, you know. I was like, nah, you're joking. Nah, that doesn't sound right. But yeah. So
weird.
But I saw a question, Caitlin, that I was like, and I saw I can't even talk. Last week when we talked about a series called, I don't know.
Have
any of you read Maddock yet? Yeah. I have, and I described chapter 1 to these fine ladies about a week ago. I'm not sure I sold it to them, I gotta be honest.
The art style is beautiful though, but like
I like when Caitlin described us of what Maddock was, I was just thinking of some like crazy explicit like looking manga, like some Faku like volume or something. So when I went on Google and looked up, I was like, oh, this is interesting. It seems a bit gothic rather than what I was expecting.
But like me and Tiffany said that we liked the look of the art style because it reminds us of manhwa, so like Korean comics. Like it had that kind of feel to it. But like the content is questionable, but the art style is beautiful, so it's conflicting.
The thought of like the part with the intestines, I was turned off. I was like, if anyone knows what we're talking about, you know,
search up the panels, but only if you're 18 plus. Like, do not do it if you are under 18 and you have a weak constitution. Do not fucking do it.
I think I was just caught by surprise because, like, the friend who like had picked it up, like a friend of mine had picked it up, and I was like, oh, I'll pick it up too and read it with them. She's like really tame and sweet and adorable.
They are the dangerous ones.
I was like, oh, this will be fine. And Alice. Goodness, it's probably, I don't think it's like the weirdest thing I've read, but I just wasn't prepared for it or expecting it at all.
I don't think anyone would be prepared for it.
I'm actually curious, what is the weirdest thing that you've read that you can actually say on stream? Like, what is the weirdest one?
I mean, like, Interspecies Your is like pretty like weird, but like it's purposefully weird and like takes the piss, whereas Maddock was like trying to be semi-serious, I suppose.
Sorry, my face.
She's like,
what? Semi-serious? What?
Well, Maddock was like, the whole thing was like almost kind of serious about how it was going about the activities.
Oh yeah, did he say like, oh no, I'm not done with it, or he's like, oh yeah, I'm done now, take me.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I think you already did.
There's a series called Booty Royale.
Oh, what is this?
Sorry, I saw it yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, down my alley." You will see it in my Monday's upload.
Have you bought it?
No, I haven't picked it up. Basically it was on the new release section in Forbidden Planet. I think it's like volume 5 to 7, and then like my friends just picked up and said, "Oh, Booty Royale." I was like, "Wait, guys, that's down my alley. Let's see." And they're like, "Ooh," and then but we couldn't see the pages, of course, because it's plastic wrapped. Then we put it back.
This one.
Yeah. So they're omnibuses by, well, I was going to say 70s Ghost Ship. There is like consent just does not exist in this series at all, in the slightest. But the
Do you see
weirdest
that? I was
thing,
about to drink my drink, then I was like, oh,
I
That's
literally can't explain anymore because there is a chapter with an anteater.
Oh God!
Get this. I'm
No.
thinking of Beauty Royale, peaches. Where did Ant come into this peach
Tiffy,
haven?
don't even
Yeah.
think about it. Just don't even think about it because
But,
no,
like-
stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I think
I'll show you the panel afterwards. Don't you worry.
Okay.
That might be one of the.
Caitlin
Is
is
it
my
a human slash ant, or is it just ant?
No,
What?
it's an anteater.
An anteater.
What? Wait, hold
Look,
up. What
Google
is
an
anti? I need
anteater.
a...
Oh my lord.
Sorry, I just searched that up on Google. I was not expecting something like that. I don't know. I never seen an ant
mammal.
in my life. I was thinking of just a gigantic ant. Like,
No,
huge.
they ain't cute.
That's what I'm like. Why is there a gigantic ant in a peach haven? And then I just
hang
saw
on a
some
second.
fluffball just now. I don't know what that was. Sorry.
Wait, so if this Beauty Royale, so you're saying it's do you mean an animal or this it's a person that's an anteater?
No, I mean
It's
an
an
animal.
actual. Oh God!
Yeah, that's like, and it makes no sense, and it's so weird. But in general, the premise of the story is she wants to become a model or something, and she kind of gets blackmailed into becoming an adult entertainer. It's sort of the.
What about anteater?
Well, no, see, that's the
Oh,
problem. That bit like happens
Just come on, Eva.
accidentally and doesn't make much sense, and it's weird.
They just thought they would add it bit in, add it in to spice things up.
Yeah, sure, my parents are watching.
I feel like I'm learning a lot about lots of new series that I've never heard about, and just listening about the premise is just making me think, what is out there at the moment? It sounds a bit mad.
But the thing is, right? No disrespect to anybody that buys the anteater.
Like that is honestly, it's a really, because it's an omnibus. It's like that thing. It is like a page in the whole thing. It just was so like I remember flicking through it, and that was the page I landed on. I was like,
oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shocker.
There is like literally any kind of warning that you need to read something is on this volume. It's on this series. There is like, yeah, it was.
What is like the series about then? So it's a girl that wants to be a model.
I think she wants to be an actress or a model, and she like
got into the adult industry.
Yeah. And
just
it's like, oh, we'll take pictures of you, and she's like, oh, okay, and they're like, okay, maybe you could just like lift your top a little, and she's like, oh, okay, and then like, it just like progressively gets worse.
Oh my lord.
I mean, she's like she is like a trained martial artist. I can't remember in what martial art. She's really good at it. And the first chapter is, here are 100 dudes. You have to fight them off, or they'll do what they want to you.
Oh, no wonder you say there's no consent in it. Yeah.
Yes. It just gets worse.
That's a questionable one right there.
Yeah. Damn. I don't know if I want to be associated with that right now. And I said, oh, yeah, that's right up my alley in the video.
At least you've not read it.
I retract it back. I did not say that.
Are there any other questions to quickly move?
Yeah, there's so many questions actually.
Any wholesome manga?
Is that in Newcastle? Because I think they're on the same street in Newcastle, aren't they? And then they're like a street away in Manchester. and then in Leeds they're not that close together. Actually, they're still walkable.
Have you been to the Newcastle one yet, Caitlin?
Yeah. I mean, I've been like it was pre-lockdown. I used to go. Yeah. I think when was it? I think it was 2020 before lockdown. Sorry.
I said, like, would you think Leeds is the best one? Then second, I'm guessing Manchester. Then Newcastle.
So Leeds is the best one. Leeds is the like flagship store. Leeds was the first one, though it didn't start in the city centre. It started out a bit, and then it moved into the Corn Exchange, and now they have like their own building, and they have like 2 units. And I think it's the only. Now, I haven't been to Newcastle in a couple of years, so unless it's changed, but Leeds was the only one that has 2 units. Then again, it has been a little while, but I would then say Manchester. However, a couple of years ago, I would have said York was the next. So there's 4 travelling mans, and there's one in York as well. I'd have said York used to be better than Manchester, but Manchester's like added lots of space. They've like swapped the shop around. So the smaller space used to have the manga, but now the bigger space has the manga. And because I haven't been in a couple of years, I don't know if York's improved either. But then I would put, I think, Newcastle at the bottom. I'm really sorry. But Newcastle's used to be like the manga section was like in the middle of the Newcastle store was like really long and thin, and like the middle of the store was the manga, so it didn't actually have too much space. It was like you had like your comics and stuff, and then the manga, and then board games. So they didn't have too much space. Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna have to take a trip up north.
Yeah,
this is not even funny.
I was showing Tiffany some of my like clips from my manga shopping video on my phone.
Reese, if you're watching this, we need to plan this, okay?
We need a trip. Can we do a UK tour of just going around and just making
all the forbidden planets?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll make it into a series.
Leave us, because we just need all the space to hold the manga.
Yeah. What is it called? It's not a 7-seater, but it's not a mini
carrier. People carrier?
Maybe. Like there's like big ass like vans.
Yeah.
No, it's like a van.
like a Land Rover.
Sorry?
Like a Land Rover to get over all the heavy terrain to get to our manga stores.
Yeah.
Reese has just said, we can go. He goes, I'll just go for the day out, because he clearly has no interest in manga.
There's lots of other fun things in Leeds.
What is in Leeds? I'm just trying
lots of things.
When I think of Leeds, all I think is, oh, that's where Caitlin buys her manga. Traveling Man, Forbidden Planet. And that's all I have. Like, the other day, basically, I have a friend from Leeds, and then we were talking about, like, slang, like, from different parts of the UK. And, like, oh, wait, I need to find the message. Basically, once he got off to Leeds, he's like, this is when you know when you're in Leeds, because he was greeted in a specific way. But I'll try to find the message. But you guys can carry on talking.
I feel like Leeds had like a lot of money put into like doing it up over the past 10-15 years. They've had like 2 big shopping centres, the Victoria Quarter and the Trinity thingy, and like they're really big and nice and clean, and they've got lots of nice known stores, and they've got like independents as well, so it's like a nice mix. The Victoria Quarter was a bit quiet last time I was there was like lots of closed doors, but I feel like Leeds is like really lively, which in itself is quite nice. There's lots of fun bars, cocktail bars. There's like a whole like side of Leeds which is just cocktail bars and restaurants.
Yeah. Oh, basically he said, within walking out of the station, someone came up to me and said, I can't even pronounce it, but you're right, geezer, but in YEREYT. Like, I don't know how the Leeds accent is, but you're right, geezer, I'm guessing. Because we didn't have that in my area. We say something else. We just say, all right, love, or something. But yeah, he was like, yeah, this is when, you know, I like got back to Leeds. I was like, interesting. Sorry.
I don't even know
Okay.
slang of like the actual area I am in. I'm like really shit.
There's
I
like
can't think
basically
of anything here either. I can't
Yeah,
think
like
of anything that is like Reese. Text me if you can think of anything because I can't think of anything.
yeah.
What is South Pacific? What is South Pacific? Like what do we say down here?
South
I have
Pacific.
one. No, I have like one that I know from my area is known, but I won't say that because for privacy reasons. Because once I say a specific word, they'll be like, "Oh, you're from there," and I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
Right. So I went to uni of Hull, and my partner's from Hull, and like we get into such like I went to grumpiness about like Hull accents because also a guy I work with's from Hull, and like the pair of them, like the moment they start talking, their like accents intensify, and like I have not a clue what's being said, and they keep saying things like mafting, and it's like that's not a darn word.
What's mafting? Is that grabbing? But mafting.
Mafting apparently is between warm and hot. So you're hotter than warm, but you're not hot, so you're mafting.
I'm just
mafting. I don't
mafting right now.
And some
I have
other
no idea.
Hellenism. Oh, something about a croggy. What the feck's a croggy? Something about riding another, like someone's riding a bike, and you're like, oh, I'll just get a croggy, and it means like someone gets on the back of the bike for like a lift, and it's like that's not a thing. Stop making up words.
Like, would you be like? I don't even know if we would say it would be like piggyback or get or something. I don't know. No, wait, I'm showing my age. No,
piggyback.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Like get on like.
Can I get a piggyback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Ben.
Let me get a. Let me get on your and get a croggy.
That just sounds weird.
But no, like coming here in uni, like I've been called a duck before. I don't know if it's common to be called a duck, but
only by like 8-year-old women in my experience.
Yeah, a ride duck. And then they use the word Mardy over here. I don't know if you know. Have you used the word Mardy before? I never heard of that in my life.
From Hull again, I've heard that.
Yeah, like some girl was saying, "Oh yeah, my boyfriend's super Mardy." I'm like, "What?
What does that even mean?"
As in like
grumpy.
Yeah, grumpy. Yeah.
See,
like
Reese agrees with me. He's messaged and it's like he said we're similar to London. Like we say, "All right, geezer," or "All right, babe," but he said we don't have anything really specific. We literally don't. We're so boring in the south. Like we have nothing.
I feel like everyone always points out my accent when I say like words with a strong R that's in it. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're from the south," and I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, one time I got bubble tea. Right, there's this girl just like staring me down. I was like, "You right?" She's like, "Yeah." She was just, I'm okay. I was like, "Okay, cool." She's like, "Oh, are you from Australia?" I'm like, "Australia? Huh? Where is this correlating to Australia?" It's like to me, I feel like I feel like I have a very strong British accent. So like, but I was like thinking, huh? It's like, yeah. I was like, are you from around here? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, she had a very like I don't know. For us, we say northern accent, but it's not even where I am. Is not even north, to be honest. This is the furthest north I've ever been. Yeah, I know. It's bad. I need to do a city break. I need to come up to Leeds. I need to go to Manchester and everything.
I have an argument with a guy at work. He's like, he's from Sunderland, and he's like, that's where the real north starts. And I'm like, Yorkshire's in the north, and he was like, no, it's not. And I'm like, it's above the Midlands. It's in the north. And he was like, no, Sunderland is the true north. And it's like, no.
Where?
Sunderland, it's like next to Newcastle. They're like,
oh, okay,
really close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So northeast. Northeast.
We have quite a lot of questions actually.
We do. I think we're gonna have to get through them.
I'll jump to the next one.
Through them now.
When did you start collecting manga, and what made you want to?
Who wants to go first? We're like,
Mine's the most boring one. Like, I started collecting manga once I was able to, by like financially able to. So once I was 16. Oh, I just outed my age. Sorry. When I was 16, that's when I started collecting manga, because that's when I got my first job. And yeah. It's been a
What
while.
was your I don't think, have I asked you this before? What was your first manga that you collected physically?
Oh yeah, Stepping on Roses. That's it. I bought it all for like retail price on Waterstone's website, because I didn't know that, basically, for some reason I didn't know that you can buy manga in like Waterstones. And then when I discovered it, I was like, okay, once I get my first job, that's the first series I'm picking up. And I picked up all 9 volumes. I was like, damn, I'm so rich. Picked up all this manga. What about you two?
What about you, Kate? Oh, me. I started collecting in 2019. So in my second to last year of high school, I will say my age.
Wait, 2019?
2009.
2009.
Yeah, 2009. Oh my god, brain is not working.
I was saying, Emma, I swear you've been collecting for a decade now.
Yeah, over a decade. Like, oh my gosh. No. So yeah, 2009. Sorry. Oh my gosh, brain is still in work mode and it does not work. So 2009. I basically watched the OG 2000s Fruits Basket anime, and then discovered that they had books that went with it, and I never knew about that before. And basically I remember getting all of the singles, the Tokyo Pop, like OG Fruits Baskets, like 2 a week, and from Waterstones, and having to order them because they didn't have them in stock in this tiny little section in like my like not Brighton, but like an even smaller town. And it was like the town over, and it was even smaller. It was like one like rotating book, like spindly thing. And yeah, so I collected all of the singles just before Tokyo Pop went bust. So got them all, and then it just expanded, and
that sounds so special.
In
like
financial hell, because there's so much to collect.
I agree. There's so many new releases like this month, and I was like, oh, I did not prepare for that. Oh, I have to wait.
How about you, Caitlin?
So I started in August 2010, and so I remember going, so it was like school holidays, and I was sometimes in the office where my parents worked, just like hanging out. And I remember one of the ladies, she was moving house, and as part of moving house, she was giving away a whole bunch of stuff that she didn't want anymore. So she had like this massive box of like DVDs and books and stuff. And I remember like talking to her about her like moving house, and she was like, "Oh, Caitlin, by the way, I've got some manga. Are you interested?" And I was like, "Oh, what's manga then?" And she was like, "Oh, surely you've heard of Naruto." And I'm like, "Oh, what's Naruto?" And she gave me, she had the first 3 volumes of Love Hina and the first 2 volumes of Naruto. And she was like, "Oh, try these. You might enjoy it." And look where I am.
Nearly 4,000 volumes. Wait, oh, sorry.
What?
Did I steal something? Oh, no, I was like...
No, it's just like the shame. Every now and again, my dad likes to just take a picture and send it to her, and he's like, "This is your fault." And she wants to buy like the first one free. Yeah, I remember sitting on the sofa like in the office and reading the Love Hinas, and then I was like, "This is kind of fun." And then I went home and read the Narutos, and like we already used to go to Traveling Man and Forbidden Planet because my dad, when I was in the pram, going into Traveling Man in a pram 25 years ago. But we used to go in because my dad collected comics and role-playing stuff, so like I already was aware that I could buy manga there. I just never really looked at it previously, but I started to. But like there was also a store near me in my town that sold books for £2 each, and they had a shelf of manga, and I bought a lot of manga for £2 a volume. It was pretty much how I got up to date with One Piece. But like I was like doing my GCSEs, so I didn't really spend too like for me a big day was spending like £50, and I'd walk out with 25 volumes of manga.
That's so cool.
And they're all brand new. Like so they never like stocked anything in order. It was random volumes. I assume they got like spare copies or something. Because like my first One Piece volume was 24, and then the next one was like 37, and then 56. Because I read them to death and was very confused, especially in 56, where I was like, why are they running away from something in Impel Down? And I'm like, I'm sure I'll figure this out at some point. Who's this skeleton fellow that's just appeared?
When was it that you got to a point where you read it all in chronological order, where you like, rather than
the volume where I caught up to date was volume 63, and it was London 2012 in July. I was with my friend, and I got very emotional. She doesn't read manga, and she got very confused and told me to stop it. And then but I think I picked up like 61, 62, 63, so I think I caught up. I think like the last volume I bought were the 3 volumes that made up the Thriller Bark, because that's only like 4 volumes. I think it was like 41, 42, 43. I bought those 4, and then I had like a complete run. I didn't have any more gaps, but I wasn't up to date at that point. But I got all the like a lot of the earlier ones I picked up from this store with like the gold.
Oh, the gold foiling.
The gold foil ones. I've got a few of those. One of them I binned because it was so misprinted. I was missing half the volume.
Oh, okay. We'll let that one slide. We'll let that one slide.
Because like I had like a chapter, then another chapter, and then I would have the first chapter again, and then I'd have the second chapter again, and then I'd have the 6th chapter. It was like completely unreadable. It was volume 9 during the Arlong Park arc. I know One Piece.
What are you doing to me?
I'm struggling opening my yogurt raisins, and I'm like, I muted myself, and I'm like, I still can't open it. Like, should I just squash it?
Girl, go get some scissors. Otherwise, that's gonna go.
It went in my boob. Wait, what?
I'm waiting for to watch it again.
It came out.
Someone clip that.
Yeah, please.
I will.
Sorry for the loud bang. If any of you guys are wearing headphones, I'm sorry.
Oh, they taste nasty. Question. Oh, do they? To be fair, yogurt coated raisins aren't great. You've got to have chocolate coated raisins. They're better.
Yeah, they're all right, but I prefer. Wait, what?
They're breeding.
It's another raisin. I was like,
they're multiplying down there.
I hope this is not gross. This is what I'm thinking. Like, one day, if I ever do get pregnant, what I'm most excited for is when my belly
gets a massive jump.
Sorry, when my belly gets very big, where I can use it as like a holder for my food, so I can put my bowl on top of my belly, and I'm like, that's something that I can't wait. Yeah, that's why I'm one day want to get pregnant. That's one thing that I'm like most looking forward to, is being able to put a bowl on top of my belly, like a table, and just eat from there. I think that just shows how lazy I am. Oh my god.
I was gonna say, you're gonna get kid after that. I think the other solution is to just get really fat.
Yeah, this is true.
No, but it won't be like perky, you know. You need the like the
Oh yeah,
belly
that's true.
thing,
It'd
like,
just be flat.
holding
You need it
so
to be like
teetering.
round.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, if I just get fat, it's just gonna sag. I don't want a saggy belly. I want a perky belly where it just perks up at the right height, and I can put my bowl on top. Sorry, so specific. We can change on to the next question. We've got loads.
Yeah,
of
next
The
question. Next question.
which is what are some less popular manga that you like?
Let me go on my.
Oh shit, I can't reach it. Oh, sorry guys, didn't mean to swear.
It's okay. We've been talking about Faku. I'm pretty sure like YouTube was censored that and that was swearing.
I'm sorry if this is shaking. Like it's sitting on my bed, so
it's okay. Don't worry. As long as you don't flash.
Should I go first or?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. So I've got 3. They are old shoujos because they've got like the old school shoujo logos.
Shogo, I like it.
The first one being Wedding Peach.
I
absolutely loved this series. I watched it in anime form and collected the manga, but this is kind of, I suppose, a rip-off of Sailor Moon. You have like, I think it's 3 girls and they're magical girls, and basically their outfits are wedding dresses when they transform. And yeah, it's only like 6 volumes long, and then there was like a one shot afterwards that was called Young Love. But yeah, this is really cute, and it's got a really cute little animal friend on the back. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's not, if you are a massive fan of Sailor Moon, you may like this, but it's harder to come by. But it's definitely an interesting one nonetheless. But yeah, definitely interesting. The second is not for the faint of heart, and that is Angel Sanctuary by Kawayuki. Now, this has got some taboo subjects in it. They are brother and sister, but there is a reason why the taboo subject is there. There's like reincarnation, angels, fallen angels. It's kind of even non-isekai, but it revolves kind of around a game, so to speak. But there's fallen angels, there's like different, I wouldn't say like it's necessarily religious, but you've got like the Archangel Gabriel and Lucifer and stuff like that in it. But it's like angels, demons, and sinners, and I really enjoyed it. This is actually one of the only series in my collection that I've probably read about 4 or 5 times, because it's really good and the art style is beautiful. So definitely, if you can get hold of it. If you don't mind taboo subjects, give it a go. If it puts you off, probably don't even bother. But this last one is Sensual Phrase.
Girl, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous here.
This series gets you hot and sweaty under the covers. Like, it is super steamy. Like, it is super steamy. Like, it's ridiculously steamy. They're both high school students. I can't remember the Arne, I think she's called. Basically, she's a high school student and she writes lewd lyrics, and she ends up dropping them in the middle of the street somewhere. And basically, this guy on the front here, he is in a band called Lucifer. He bumps into her, finds the lyrics, and basically sings the lyrics in one of his live concerts, and has her write the lyrics for him. But he wants her to write them in certain ways, and the only way for her to do that is for her to experience or get more experience. So he's more than happy to oblige in helping with that. And so their relationship happens, and it's beautiful. It's a smiley mess, and I freaking love it. So yes, it's not without its flaws. Like,
sorry,
are they shouting?
Oh my god, no, they're knocking on my door. Why are they knocking on my door? That scared me. That scared. At least this is live. If there's anything happen, we got the
we got you. Like, I don't know what we can do.
Yeah, we know where you are.
Report it to the police. I'll send you my location and everything. Like, what is going on outside? I do not know. I'm like sweating.
What the
I'm gonna send you my address right now.
like, for real, send it to us in like, how are you sending this to us? On Instagram. What the fuck is going on? Have you got like a peephole that you can look through?
Yeah.
This is why this clip
Send me
ends
my
up
address.
being-
I don't actually panic them. Why were they doing? Why are they trying to knock on my door?
Excuse me, can I chat to you quickly?
Why are they asking to chat to you? What the heck?
Can I just say hi?
Turn your
Don't
mic off.
answer the door. Don't answer the door. What the fuck?
I don't hear footsteps. They're still there. I don't hear them walk away.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna quickly check.
Look through the
I can't wait. I need to put my stool down and then reach. He's gonna hear me put my down and stand up. Someone tell me what to do. Oh my god. One second. I'm gonna check.
Dude, turn like the laptop round so we can see, so nothing happens.
Oh no, my room's messy.
What the heck? Why guys gotta be so arsehole like that? Wait, that was not a full sentence.
I just turned my light off.
Mm.
Okay, they're gone.
What the heck was that about? Like,
No, yeah, what was that? I panicked. Like, what is going on?
why do they want to talk to you? Like, no, go away.
How loudly they were knocking on my door. It was like
Mm.
We
my
could, like,
door was shaking.
Hear them
I felt it
talking.
coming out.
That's ridiculous. They've got to be drunk, right? Surely.
I'm like, he didn't sound drunk though. He was like, "Can I speak to you?" I don't know no one that lives here like that. Why are they
That's
like
weird.
proper like smacking on my door as well? And why was like
That
someone
is
yelling
so
beforehand? Like that doesn't sound like, yeah. But I didn't. Why targeting me? Because I don't hear any other people's door getting knocked like right now.
Wait, do you live like
Oh,
in
it's so
student
scary.
accommodation? So there's like other students with you?
Yeah, wait. We got this time documented. I'm gonna message my like accommodation manager and be like, this has happened. I don't know who it is. Can you just check if it's a student being weird or like someone just got let in the building just trying to like, yeah, this is scary. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Everyone's like, stay safe. Thank you, everyone. Keep me in your prayers. Stress. I was like, oh my god. I was like stressing. And I was like, you were talking about your manga, like, oh yeah, this is Angel Sanctuary. I'm like, yeah. Oh, we'll carry on. It's okay. Should we do another? Oh wait, actually, Caitlin, do you want to answer this question as well?
Yeah.
I can't think of any like manga at the moment. Actually, I have one.
I mean, like, one of my favorite ones is one called Witch's Printing Office, which is an isekai, and I don't feel like many people talk or know about it, which is really fun and silly. And just this girl is like been isekai'd, and she opens a printing office because she can like magic can like go into paper, and people make books of like a spell, and reading the book or the book can like do the spell, and she can like when she copies the pages, she can like copy the spell across with it, so she can like duplicate them. And she also runs this event called Magicette, which is like Comicette, but all the exhibitors sell like their magic books and stuff, and it's just super silly and daft. And like half the volume, at least volume 1, is like her logistically trying to sort out like the queues are too long, someone gets heat stroke, someone's sold out of their merch and people still want stuff, they've run out of maps, that sort of thing. And it's just really silly and daft. and I love it. And more people should read it. Yen Press, go.
Go. I'm sorry. Like, all in my mind I can think about now is just whoever was outside my door right now. I'm just thinking like, do I message my accommodation manager? But I feel like they don't. That because like this has happened before, and like they haven't done anything about it. So I'm like, do I like message? But then they'll be like, But then I'm thinking the guy just seemed a bit polite in the end. He's like, okay, like he just
Dude,
left.
he was knocking on your door asking to speak to you. No, it's not polite. It's rude.
Yeah, no.
Like,
After, but then, yeah, weird. People are weird. Scary. Yeah.
they need to do one.
Yeah.
Should we go to the next question?
Yeah, next question.
Next one.
Ooh.
Me, but like anyone else, shorter manga you've been reading recently? I've read quite a lot of short manga.
What have I read? Spell of Desire. That one's... Oh no, is it happening again?
Oh, wait, no. I hear them. I think someone's having a house party, and I just heard someone said, "I really need a shit real badly." So don't tell me he just knocked on my door because he wants to come in to take a shit. Because what?
Whoa,
I might have misheard because this whole stream I've been mishearing everyone as well. So I'm trying to make it positive, I guess. And like be like, it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Carry on. Sorry. Shorter series. I'm so distracted. I apologize.
I think my shorter series would probably be Spell of Desire. It's done by the same mangaka that done Midnight Secretary. However, I wouldn't go out of my way to... Wait, that kind of defeats the object if I'm recommending it, doesn't it, really? No. No, out of the two, I've read both Midnight Secretary and Spell of Desire. Midnight Secretary is a josei, a smutty josei about a vampire, 7 volumes long. It's definitely worth your time because it's really beautifully drawn and I like the whole premise. Spell of Desire is done by the same mangaka and it involves witches. There is what they call a black witch, which is somebody that deals in more darker magic. And she has been sealed away or they can't find her. And her daughter, a white witch who does sort of like healing, takes her magic from caring for things, whereas the black witch forcefully takes it from somebody. So like they all kiss them or they have to cause somebody to desire them or something along those lines. But yeah, so those two, but I think out of those two I probably would definitely recommend Midnight Secretary.
Smutty manga. Nice.
You know it.
Yeah. I was gonna say Boys Run the Riot. I will wait for you guys to read it, but I think it is a nice short series for people to collect since it's only 4 volumes. And then Blue Flag, if it's available.
Are they outside again?
I don't know. I'll just ignore it and just carry on talking. I think it's the best way to do is just carry on rather than like we're silent and that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Blue Flag, Boys Run the Riot. What's another short series I can think of that's complete? Like all I can think of is like some old shoujo manga, but I don't know if it's like easy accessible at the moment.
What old shoujos would you choose?
Like Stepping on Roses, but I don't know if it's hard to get now. Or like Kitchen Princess. I mentioned that quite a few times. It's a series that I love a lot. Yeah, I think those would be my like recommendations. What about you? Wait, Kaden, did you recommend them? Or did I like?
I'm trying to think. Like,
I think she's checking
like
my.
What? No, don't do that. Like my go-to like short series recommendation is always Astral Lost in Space, which is 5 volumes, 5 is, and it's like I feel like it's one of the few shorter series I've read where I actually like like felt like I remembered the characters by the end. I don't feel, and I feel like I got backstories from all the characters, and it didn't feel too rushed. And also, I liked the ending, and I could probably count the number of series the ending I liked on like my hands. I'm really picky about my endings. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
like, do you have like a checklist, like, or do you have like similarities of like the endings that you like, that you notice?
No, it's just entirely how I feel when I read it. Like when I read it, do I feel like, oh, okay, or do I feel like, yeah, it, like it's just a bit like just entirely on my emotions at the time I'm reading.
Yeah.
I think another one that's good is Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto, which is 4 volumes by 7 Seas. It's a bit harder to find though nowadays. I've had most of my volumes, like quite a few, like the only one I struggled to find was volume 2, and I ended up buying it secondhand a couple of years ago, and that was a couple of years ago, and I still was struggling to find it. But that's a comedy series about a guy called Sakamoto in like a high school who's just perfect in every way, and it's just but perfect to like comedic levels. Almost, I don't know how else to describe it. That one's really good. That was really fun. Like that was like one that probably makes me laugh out loud. Else have I read that's short?
Well, like a few people have mentioned in the chat, Black Torch. What's your opinions? I actually recently picked up volume 1, but I haven't read it yet.
I have all of it, but I've not finished it yet. I've only read volume 1.
Yeah, I've read volume 1. I have volume 1 and 2, and I've only read volume 1. From volume 1, though, I was quite disappointed that they decided to axe it at 5 volumes. I feel like, I don't know, maybe the more volumes you get into it, maybe it didn't have too much staying power, but I really like the art style. Like the concept was interesting. People did compare it to Bleach, but I don't know. Like it just seemed quite interesting with like having a cat familiar and and stuff like that. Like it seemed interesting. I was just shocked that Shueisha cancelled it, but that was quite a good one as well.
Also, one now it potentially depends on your age, but one called Sex Ed 120%, and it sounds lewd, but it isn't. It's like sex education, but like proper sex education, like not like, oh, if you touch a girl's hand, you're gonna get pregnant or get an STI.
If you eat a watermelon, you get a big belly. I don't know.
It's like proper sex education and like what dental dams are and why to use them, and like safe sex, not just between a heterosexual couple but a homosexual couple. And they talk about consent and average sizes of not just parts on a dude but parts on a lady as well. And
what do you mean by average sizes for a lady? As in like breast
down
size,
there?
or?
Oh, downstairs.
Yeah, like average size and like what you'd expect it to look like.
Oh, like
do they do the same for the top half as well? Like top half?
I think so. I think they just do sort of a general average, what the average body looks like.
I feel so intrigued now.
Yeah,
it's actually really good. My only qualm with it is I can't bother to stand it. They're like this thin. It could there's 3 of them and it's complete. And it could be like it could have fit into like one omnibus or something. The last volume is mostly about pregnancy, abortion, and LGBT. So they talk about like what each letters stand for and what it means, because like the sort of main cast, I think it's mostly a mainly female cast, but there are some dudes who like come and go. And like of the schoolgirls, one is in a same-sex relationship, one isn't interested in anything, and one is obsessed with BL. And it's and also the teachers like not quite sure, and the teacher's going through her own things as well because she's got a crush on another female teacher and trying to approach it, and it's just like it's like the sex education that we all should have had at school. Now, like if you're like a middle-aged dude with kids, you probably will find it a bit boring because you're like, well, yeah, fine. But like if you're a teenager or like you're starting to question things, I think it's a really good read. Yeah.
Yeah. Even as an adult, I'm intrigued of this whole thing. I think I've been seeing it in schools, but I didn't know what it was about. Once I saw the word sex and then something 20% or 200%, I was thinking, okay, slide it back into the shelf. Look at something else.
It's definitely pricey for how big it is, but I think it's really good. And they do like short questions, and it's like, what do you think this is? What do you think the average of people who do this? And it's just like it's trying to be a completely honest, educational, and it doesn't just focus on like the bare like logistical stuff around sex. It talks a bit about like fun side of that as well, and like just the whole talking with your partner and that sort of thing. And it's just
communication. Everything just communication is key. Like, yeah.
But I feel like I learned more from those 3 volumes than I ever did at school.
To be fair, it's probably true. Honestly, the sex education while I was at school was literally like you had the boys and the girls. We were in like middle school when they'd done it, and they were like, we will sit in an assembly hall, like, well, not in assembly, but we were all in that hall. From a couple of classes, girls and boys mixed, and we sat and watched an old video, like, and that was it. There was nothing else. And like when we got into secondary school, they were supposed to go into more detail. Like all the other classes were putting like condoms on bananas and stuff. Like that's what they did to learn stuff. But our teacher never done that with our class because the kids that we had in our class were so naughty that they just wouldn't. Like she just couldn't do it. Because I know what would have happened. They would have been flinging condoms around the classroom because that's just what they're like. Like that's what they would have been like. But yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting to see that taught in a different format as well. So it's through something that somebody's quite more likely to pick up. Whereas if it was like a novel, they might not, or a textbook, they might not want to pick that up because it would be a chore. But if it's an enjoyable read and they learn something from it, I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about when I had sex education as well. It wasn't very like educating. We had things like, oh, don't send nudes because this is the consequence. Like it might be like shared. So we learn about those type of stuff. But when it came to actual sex education, like I think the most I've learned was back in like year 6, not even secondary school. Like in secondary school, it was literally just, I think they had a like what's it called? We used to call them like PHSE lessons where they just teach about. Yeah, I think that's what.
And I think something like PSCAGE,
something like that. And I think we did have a lesson about like putting a condom on, but it was never like educating what safe sex was or anything like that. Like maybe we did touch upon about consent a bit, but it wasn't really like a.
I don't remember us talking about that at all. Actually, I don't remember that being a big thing, and I think that maybe that's something that needs to. Well, not. I think it definitely is something that should be. I don't know what the curriculum is like now, but like if it wasn't back then it definitely should be now. Like 100%
like
it needs to be.
I come from a very conservative family, like as in like. Well, I mean conservative as in the conservative is like private.
Yeah.
So like I was never taught about periods. So when I first had my period, it was like, oh, I'm dying, rather than, oh, this is normal. This is what happens with like girls when they reach the age of like 11 to like 17. I had no idea about that. And also like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like I feel like even like with romances, I learned everything through manga. I know manga's not a very good representation of reality, but I feel like it gives you some type of a basis of like what to expect, like feelings, emotions. I feel like, Manga has
But
helped
then
me a lot.
don't you find like that when you read like shoujo manga and stuff, like you get like butterflies because it's
Oh,
so
100%,
cute and
100%.
it's like it's almost sickly sweet, but you're just rooting for it because it's literally just like, oh, imagine if that was the real thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's imagine if it was that easy, or people could
Mm-mm.
understand each other, or you could do do-overs just like that. Like imagine that. So yeah, I'm so sad.
Yeah. When I think of it like manga, like romance compared to actual romance in secondary school or high school and secondary school, it's always like drama.
I'm
I remember
sorry,
high
but
school.
I've just seen a comment. Caroline said, imagine having sex ed classes. My sex ed teacher was our homeroom teacher, and all she told us to do was grab a mirror and look at our bean.
Look at our bean. What? Us down there. Mirror.
Yeah, grab a mirror, look at the bean.
The bean is the CLIT.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you not heard the phrase "flick the bean"?
Yeah.
No.
What? Have you not
I
heard
remember
that?
I remember back in school someone's like feed the pony. I was like, what the fuck is feed the pony? And that means your fingers going, that means feed the pony. I didn't know that. What?
Oh my God. I remember watching a Channel 4 documentary where they got like, I think she was like Danish. She was from mainland Europe, and she was like a proper sex education teacher. Like she did it properly, like the way this manga did it. And they sent her into one of the schools with the highest pregnancy rates in the UK, which I think it might have been Manchester or Blackpool, but I swear everyone says that their school had the highest pregnancy rate. And like one of the things she got them to do was she sent the girls home with a mirror and was like, just have a look. See what your body looks like. And like half the parents complained and were like, this is inappropriate. Yeah.
How is that though? If you don't understand how your body functions, then how do you know if something's wrong?
Yeah, true.
But like that was just like, no, you shouldn't do that. But what like was terrifying, like they got, so it was like girls and men, they were like 15, 16, boys and girls in this class, and they had to like label stuff, and like dudes couldn't label shit on a woman, but women couldn't label shit on a woman either. Like they had no idea what anything was. And then there were like conversations where like one of the guys was like, oh yeah, she doesn't shave, I'll just dump her. Like down there.
Oh,
she doesn't keep it. And the teacher was like, but why? It's not your body. Why do you have a say? And he's like, well, she just doesn't keep clean, does she? And it's like, what's that got to do with keeping clean? They're two separate. Do you? And she was like, do you shave them? And he was like, oh no, why would I do that?
Well, there you go then. Like...
Interesting.
It was actually a really interesting documentary, if not horrifying.
Like Channel 4 always come up with like the most wackiest stuff, to be honest.
They're either really interesting or they scare the living shite out of you. It's like one or the other. Like,
then they had that dating show, like called, is it Naked Attractions?
Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes. I pulled that on TV one time, and like I said, my family is very private. Everything came on the screen, boobs, Mel down there, everything, and she was shocked. She was like, I was like, yeah. And she's like, it's not even like 12 a.m. or anything. I was like, yeah.
I feel like maybe we should like actually tell any viewers that aren't from the UK what Naked Attraction is. Basically, you have these people go on this dating show and they go and they've got these screens and people are basically standing butt naked behind these screens, and after each question's answered, like the screen gets higher and higher, so you get like your toes, then like your legs, then you get your wang dango and your mini, and then it goes up higher, and then the last thing to be seen is your face.
And every time they raise it, they like kick someone off.
Yeah.
So they're like, I don't like the look of their toes.
Yeah.
So they get eliminated, and then like, so they like will see the privates before they see the face.
Yeah.
Because somebody literally could be like, oh, your willy looks weird. Oh,
Yeah.
your lips are a bit dodged. Like, bye. Like, they could literally just kick you off just for that reason. But yeah, we've got some really weird things in the UK.
I wonder if like any of them came out having like a successful relationship. I wonder.
I saw one. I'm not saying I used to. I didn't watch it regularly, but like if it was on, you just leave it on. And there was one where the guy like picks someone, and then like they go on a date, and then they do like a month later sort of thing, and they come and sit on the sofa. And the lady that came and sat on the sofa wasn't the one that was last. It was the one that he eliminated before her.
Oh damn!
Would that not
Plot
make you
twist.
feel uncomfortable though? Because you would like you'd like bed yourself literally naked, and then you then got like jolted out, and then you'd be like, "Is there something wrong with my body? Is that the reason why you like jolted me?" Like, would that not make you feel weird?
Yeah, I remember watching a show when they do like be like, "Oh, I don't want that person." And then when the face reveal comes on, they're like, "Oh, crap, I made a bad mistake. I should have kept that person, and then the other person should have gone." I've noticed that. Maybe they went like behind cameras after, like, yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Should we go back to the manga talk?
Question.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Spy Family or Fearin' Wanna Collect It?
I've got both series. I haven't read Freedom yet, but I have Spy Family, and I think all of us agree that it's amazing. Where mine's at top of the stack. I can't be asked to get it.
Anya is a precious little bean, and she must be protected. And I love her. She is kick-ass. And yeah, how do you feel like now the anime, the first episode's been aired? Like, do you reckon that it's going to be really hard to find now that it's gonna?
I went to Spy Family. I went to Forbidden Planet, and all the Spy Family volumes were all gone. Like a few days beforehand, before it even was released, there was I remember there was restocks of volume 2 and like some other volumes as well. And they were just all gone. Like, I was like, where's it? And it's just like out of stock again. So I feel like a lot of people,
it's going to be a Chainsaw Man and JJK situation
when
again.
I came to uni as well, I thought Spy Family was within like our manga community, like not a lot of people know. And like quite a lot of people that my friends, like within my friendship group, they're like, yeah, we love Spy Family. I'm like, wait, what? You read manga? What? And then we just bonded over Spy Family. Like, even like I know people that don't read manga, but they know Spy Family, and I'm just thinking, oh, it must have like been like popular somewhere, maybe either TikTok, I'm guessing, or somewhere else where like people just been on the bandwagon on like the series.
Weirdly, I found it on Reddit, but I found it on Reddit like 2 years before it even got published in English. I saw some panels someone had posted, and I was like, this looks great. What manga is this? Oh, it doesn't have a print. So like, it's like one of the, because I only read physical, I'm usually pretty shit at knowing any series that doesn't have a print. But like, this was one I was like actually waiting for, because like even just the few panels I saw was like, this is really neat, and I can't wait for this. But I think Spy Family is great, and it's the other one.
Fearin', yeah.
This one, check out volume 2.
Have you read it yet?
I've read volume 1.
Yeah.
I feel like I had mixed feelings. Like, I think it just wasn't quite what I was expecting, and I think, again, I might be the only one. I only see people say how wonderful it is.
Did you think it was going to be an isekai, just out of interest?
No.
From the cover, I had that vibe.
I knew it was going to be just a fantasy. It wasn't the kind of fantasy that I was expecting. It deals more, and I mean, this happens in chapter 1, and I feel like, to be fair, I always feel like volume 1's free game anyway. It pretty much deals with, so the main character's an elf, and she has an insanely long lifespan, like thousands and thousands of years. And the volume 1 starts with her and her party made up of humans and a dwarf, like beating up the Demon King. And they're like, okay, cool, this is great, we'll continue on. And she's like, well, I'm going to go and do some exploring, and I'll come back and see you. And she comes back like 50 years later, and all the characters have aged. Like, particularly the humans, they're now very old, very decrepit. And it's her walking through and learning about morality. and it's more about that than it is about like the fantasy aspect, which is the bit I was wasn't expecting, and I wasn't sure if it was a bit more deep than I was expecting.
Like from what I've heard from other people, like it's a very deep series, so that's what intrigued me in picking it up. Like at first, like if I looked at the cover, I don't think I would have picked it up, but because I've heard how like sad it is, I was like, up my alley. Let me pick up. But I have to read it and see what my opinions are.
Somebody's commented a little bit further down. So Mickey McDonald said, apparently some of the fans have been creepy towards Anya after watching episode 1 of Spy Family. Did you see that on Twitter?
I saw one TikTok that went wild. Like I've seen it everywhere, but I think it's only been this one TikTok I've seen where this guy was like, I've forgotten the name. The dad is perving on Anya because she's blushing, and when he picks her up,
wasn't it like she was like, oh, she fancies her dad because he's like picked her. No, she's like a young child, happy that she finally has a family. It's like I'm not being funny, but Anya has been in and out of orphanages, right? In and out with different families, been abandoned. This cool ass dude is a spy, right? She's finally found somewhere that she can finally belong and have a family. She's happy. She's like elated that she's found this forever home, or hoping to be forever home. She doesn't fancy Twilight. She admires him for what he does as a job, and she loves him. It's not, she doesn't love him as in like a creepy love. She loves him as a daughter loves her father. Like, I don't understand.
I think the thing that's really amused me is I've only seen this one person, like it did the TikTok, and then everyone's like, this is an appalling opinion. I could be wrong, but I've only seen people like repost this one TikTok. So I'm hoping, and I don't feel like it's that broad an opinion. I mean, there will be some weirdos, but I think
I just thought when I read creepy, I didn't know it was about like a specific person or like a few people thought Anya was like I don't know, like liking Twilight. I thought they were thinking of Anya as in a creepy way, as in fetishizing.
No, there has been as well. I saw like an horrific, like it was a horrific thing on Twitter like the other night, and like this dude was typing on like what he was going to do to her and all this creepy ass shit, and I was literally just like, and I don't know if this is true. I'm just going by reading the comments on what somebody had screenshotted it and then commented about it. And like, apparently this dude is like a teacher or something. And I don't know if it's a troll or what, but it was like, so, like you're letting some, and people were defending it going, oh, it's a fictional character. But it's like, she's a child and that's a teacher, like an actual teacher, like allegedly. So, and like, why would you do that? Like some of the comments that we have, it's like, it's such a shame, like this is why we can't have nice things. This is true, like whenever there's something wholesome and cute like put out, somebody has to go and say something inappropriate and just ruin it for everybody else, and then it blows up, and then you wonder why people outside the anime and manga community in like the mainstream see our like pop culture as being wrong, perverted, and something that shouldn't be shown on mainstream, because we do it ourselves. Like if there wasn't instances like this, then we would have it on mainstream media, but because they bring highlighted to this, that's the problem. And also you can kind of, this is probably going to be like a hot take or whatever, and people are going to be like, oh, but like for me, if don't get me wrong, I really do like Seven Seas, and I like a lot of the other publishers that bring out like the more smuttier stuff. But when you bring out series that have characters that are dubious on what age they are and stuff like that, and that's all you bring over and all you license is like big titties and like arse hanging out and like all this stuff that's like really uncomfortable and possibly inappropriate, if that's all people see being brought over, that's what they're going to think this community is about, when it's not. There's so many more wholesome and cute and amazing stories with yes, there are some stuff that is like more harder to read. Like Mars is one thing. Like that series has a lot of darker themes in it, but it shows a journey that a character goes through and how they reach the end. They show a start and they have a journey. But when you just see all this stuff that is like not so great, and that's all anybody else sees, they don't see the good stuff. Like they don't see like the blue flags or like the, I don't know, like Monster. Yes, it's got a horrific like murder and mystery thing going on, but it's an amazing story. They don't get that highlighted as much. Okay, so May is a big popular series, but it's not necessarily highlighted because all you're seeing is giant boobies. Like I don't understand it.
I feel like for the manga community, I feel like, how do I say it? Like basically, I've been upset quite a few times, like when I go to Forbidden Planet, because there are some people that have unnecessary comments about like manga. And I remember like going in yesterday, like we were just looking at some manga, and some people were like, "Oh, let's just get away from these like weeps." And I'm thinking, why are you here? Why are you here? Let me enjoy my manga. Why are you here? And like it was even like when I was like filming like my manga shopping with me, you can hear it in the background when they're like just like was like making their comments. And then like I remember one time when I went manga shopping, like there was this woman just like being so loud in the shop talking about how, oh, I don't get why these people like these manga or anime is about raping kids, about this. And I'm like, excuse me? I don't think you should even comment on something that you're not even educated about. It's like such a like serious accusation that I don't think our community should be associated with that, because I don't think it's like that at all. Like, yeah.
No, I think that's the problem, like, isn't it? Because you get like that small group that will enjoy that sort of content, or not necessarily that content, but when you have like youngish sort of characters and the consent issue is a problem, when you have that and that is what's blown up, because you see it all on Twitter, like that whole thing with Anya, right? You see it all on Twitter. If that's what gets blown up, that's what is what people are going to see. They're not going to see anything else other than the nasty parts, because everybody like gets on as like, oh my god, like have you seen this, have you seen that, and it attracts more attention. Whereas if it was ignored, then we wouldn't have that. But yeah, it sucks because
I feel like it's also for
our community is amazing.
Yeah,
like we're so lovely.
Should we go on to the next question?
Yeah. Sorry guys, that was quite hard and heavy.
Any wholesome manga recommendations?
Okay, Sweat and Soap.
Yes.
Blue Flag.
Yes.
A Sign of Affection.
Yeah.
What other wholesome manga? There's so many wholesome manga. I feel like I need to have a section in my like Excel sheet just to write wholesome. Like, I think that would be a very great way to organize my manga as well.
I think Love Me Not is another wholesome one as well, actually, by Ayasaki Sake. It's got 2 different female leads. You see 2 different perspectives on love when you're a high school student, and 2 different routes that you can go down. So I think that's another wholesome one. How about you, Caitlin? Yeah. What one would you recommend from your library?
I would say A Man and His Cat as well.
Actually, I was going, because like it's right next to me, which helps me think about it. This one, I Am a Cat Barista. It's
probably
cool. I've only read volume 1 so far. I haven't read my volume 2. I don't like how thin they are, and they're expensive.
Oh yeah.
But the basic premise is it's just this like cafe, and this cat runs this cafe, and there isn't a menu. People come in and like talk about their problems, and he makes them a drink or some food that he thinks will help them feel better or help with their problem. And every chapter it's just like someone else comes in and he just like makes them something, and it's just so lovely as he like talks them through while he's like feeding them and giving them a drink, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, and then like they manage to sort themselves out, and it's just so lovely and sweet, and it's really pretty as well. It's a really pretty series.
To be fair, the cover looks really nice as well. The art on the cover
That's very
looks
comforting.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute.
Is that a fox?
I think
it's a dog.
Oh.
It's just.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, I saw a guy with blushing face.
Oh.
I think that's pretty wholesome. That's lovely.
Oh, there's another question next is, any recommendations of strong, sassy female characters? I need more Mao Mao in my manga.
Oh, yeah, Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries. She's cool.
She's a bad bee.
Yeah, she is.
I feel like I haven't read much like female characters that are that sassy. If that makes sense. They probably have a bit of sass, then after they kind of like go all like lovey-dovey once they get into like a relationship with a boy. Like they don't really keep it strong. I don't remember a series.
I feel like would Witch Hat Talia fall under that? Are they sassy?
I haven't actually read that, to be fair.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The art style is gorgeous.
Yeah. I think the story is lovely as well. It's just
she is quite strong though.
See, it's not necessarily a shoujo series, but I really liked the new series that is coming out by Rumiko Takahashi, Mao. I think the female character in that series is quite interesting. Like,
would you say the series is worth picking up? Because I've been debating if I should pick it up or not.
I'm biased because I really do enjoy Rumiko Takahashi. It remind me of Inuyasha. Yes, it does. I'm not going to lie. It does remind me of Inuyasha. However, it's set in a different time period. Instead of there being a demon spirit or demon yokai or dog demons, it's surrounding a cat demon instead. And they're having to find this cat demon because our characters have been cursed, basically. And because they've been cursed, they've taken on certain attributes from that demon. I've really actually enjoyed the first 3 volumes. So if it's for me personally, I would recommend it. But yeah.
I think Blank Canvas as well. I think Blank Canvas is a good one. I've forgotten the artist's name, but it's the same. It's the person who did Princess Jellyfish and Tokyo Torariba Girls.
Oh, is it
Blank
like
Canvas is the like
Mora, something like that.
I'd have to look it up. Like, I don't think anything would ring a bell. But Blank Canvas is like an autobiography manga of her, and she's pretty sassy. That's really good. Although I must say, it's a series that I would recommend reading in one go. I struggled to find volume 5, and having a big gap between volume 4 and volume 5, I think kind of ruined the ending for me. I think I'd have enjoyed the ending more because I forgot a couple of characters and some of the things that happened. But that's also a good one. And she's very strong because she now like keeps making manga. we kind of have a spoiler for how it ends.
How about, just out of curiosity, how about Nana? Would Nana fit in this? Because you've got two characters, both by the name Nana. I've watched part of the anime, so I know a tiny bit, but would you say that one, Tiffany? I know you've got that series, so.
Yeah, I feel like not the cute Nana, the other Nana. Yeah. I was somewhat. But she she just does what she wants. Yeah. And I think that's is it the right word? Liberating?
I've heard such good things of that, so I'm really hopeful your one comes back.
It is reprints.
I
saw some volumes on Blackwell's. I don't know if it's still there, but
I'm definitely want to pick that one up. That looks like it's going to be such a good read.
It's just Nana, I feel like it will always be a classic, so no matter what, like when you read it, it will be just such a nice, I think it'll throw me back to when I was in secondary school, I think, just the feelings and emotions. Yeah, I love when series does that, like when it takes you back in time, like a specific moment or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. Should we answer another question? There's quite a lot, actually.
I think I've had an instant my scroll. I think this. Hope I've not missed any. Do any of you read scans online for manga that don't have official English translation yet? No.
I haven't read any scans in a very long time. I don't think Webtoons don't count as scans, right?
Webtoon is like a legit site, so you're fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't read scans
physically. I don't tend to read. I don't read digitally either, even if it's not a scan.
I don't mind reading digitally. I really like the Shonen Jump out, but when it comes to scans, I used to. The only one, to be fair, back in the day, like literally when we were in high school, the variety of series back then were basically non-existent. Like you guys know. So it's like we didn't really have the choice back then. So if we wanted to get into some of these series, we just didn't have the choice. And actually at the time, you didn't really know what you were doing. You didn't think that it was bad because you didn't understand it. Whereas now you're like, oh no, want to support the creator and everything. But you understand at the same time that not everybody can. But there's only one series that I continued to up until a couple of years ago, and that was Kingdom. I really, really loved that series. Like the way that they have built this world and the warring states, and every clan is different, every general is different, every character is different. Like this series is amazing. It's one of the best-selling series in Shonen Jump, and the fact that it hasn't got an English translation yet is absolutely appalling. Like I think it would sell so well for Viz, and there is definitely a market for it. I
wonder if like there's some reason, because there's like, I mean, Tokyo Revengers is digitally printed by Kodansha but physically by Seven Seas, and it's like something must have happened then, legality wise or something. I wonder if there's something weird with Kingdom as well.
I wonder if it's the subject matter, because it's kind of like, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but it's basically like the warring states, and I don't know if it's like necessarily a direct take on maybe Chinese history, but I think that's very similar. So it's like a small country, like a prince basically wants to unite the like 7 kingdoms into one massive uniformed country, and to do that he's going to have to battle and take like different countries and different parts of like the neighboring nations and allies and stuff. So I don't know if maybe because it might be too close to some histories, I'm not entirely sure, but it's so well done, well done.
Printed in French, Spanish, German.
Yes,
I think.
Yes.
It's just English. I don't know. So I think that because there was something. Is it Zatch Bell? That one has like weird legalities where the author sued Viz. So
really?
there was some issues with translation, and I think the author ended up suing Viz over the translation. So now Viz aren't allowed to publish it, and the mangaka doesn't want it. I'm not entirely clear. There was a legal battle with him and Viz, and
that's so interesting.
So it means there's not going to be a reprint of it, basically.
I know that Zatch Bell is something that some of the guys in the community want to read, especially East Coast manga. He is like, he wants that. He wants to finish it so bad, and I think the Prom G does as well.
I think it's Zatch Bell. I think it's that one. There is definitely a one.
Yeah. What's the next question?
Yeah.
Have any of you guys read Psalm 100 yet?
No.
I like the spines, but I will pick it up for the spines. I think that's
I picked it up for the spines, and I regret it.
Oh, okay. I'm not picking up for the spines. There we go. I'm saving my money.
I don't like zombies. I don't like zombies at all. And like the gist, I kind of understood there wasn't too much zombies, and I was like, okay, I can deal with it potentially for the spines. And there's a lot of zombies, and it's also kind of boring.
Is it the
somehow.
look of the zombies that put you off, or is it just the
I
concept?
just don't like zombies. I've not liked zombies since I was like 10.
So you don't like Shaun of the Dead, Walking Dead?
Shaun of the
or is that-
Dead's what started it.
Oh, that's like one of my
Legitimately, I didn't really care before.
Vicky McDonald said Zoom 100 is pricey for what it is. 100% agreed. Like for
Is
those
it?
skinny volumes, they're like £10, aren't they? Because obviously Viz 6 went up. Yeah, so they're like £10.
Sorry, I want to mention, are you guys going to pick up Alice in the Borderland?
I have it pre-ordered. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm interested in it.
Because I've heard like, yeah.
I mean, the live action looked interesting from the trailer. So I was like, and I heard good things. So
yeah.
if I don't like it, I'll just give it away.
But I'm just like curious of the way it's made because it's a Viz Sig, I believe. I think a lot of people in like the US have like complained about the way it's packaged, that it should be much more like sturdier, I guess, rather than like paperback.
I think they thought it was going to be a hardcover, didn't they? But then, to be honest, I think when they gave it when they announced it, I think people were under the impression that it was going to be a hardcover, and then it wasn't. And I think that's what's disappointed people. I think if it had been a hardcover, then they might have been less disappointed, because I think the covers look really pretty. They've got a combination of two covers in one. Yeah.
I just hope the paper quality is good. That's what I'm concerned about. I don't want it to be like very like see-through and like easy terrible. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of people complain about the quality. The print quality is not that great, apparently.
Oh, that's kind of
Book Vibe said, I thought it would at least be as nice as Monster or 20th Century Boys. Is it not as nice as those two releases, Book Vibes? Like, how is it? Is there like thin paper? Like, what is it that's not that great? Because it looked pretty from like the photos that we had.
I agree. Like the covers look pretty. That's what I'm just concerned about. Like, I'm just scared of reading such a thick ass book and then the spine is just gonna be like looping.
Just gonna crack.
Yeah.
But have you found like, talking about like print quality, have you noticed that some of the Viz Media titles are now being printed in other countries other than the US? Because there was a couple.
The press has moved as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think
last year.
Yeah. I think. Have you seen any that? Because some of them are now printed in Italy. I think Italy.
I've not seen Italy. I've seen all the ones I've seen have been like South Korea.
Oh yeah. There was a couple from there.
Oh,
this Yen Press was US. What about this one?
Oh, here we go. So Book 5 says no, the paper isn't great, but the cover is a little flimsy. I don't think the spine will break. Oh, okay. But then I think because there was such a high demand in manga because of the pandemic, that in order to accommodate everybody, like the surge in demand, they had to scale up quickly, and I think the only way for them to do that was to outsource it, which is fine, because I think that it's a business. They've got to take their money. If they have to do things slightly differently, then at least we're still getting the series. Like there was a time where they just weren't printing hardly anything.
Yeah.
So we just be grateful really for what we have. At least I am. I'm just happy that we get anything at all.
I feel like there's also the worry of they don't want to commit to like building or buying new complete printing buildings. Because like, what if the demand dies down again? They won't.
Exactly. I think because it's like, because there was such a surge so quickly, they've never had that much demand before. Like we've been collecting for a long time, right? Like we could easily just walk into a lot of the Forbidden Planets or whatever and just go and pick whatever volumes we wanted, because they've been sitting there for months. Whereas now, because there's such a big hype on certain series, and if you find series, especially on TikTok, it's like, oh, we've just gone thrifting, we found like all these like super rare volumes, and because that's now then it's then put out, I'm like guilty of that because I showed some in my collection, but I've had them for ages. I haven't gone out and bought them, but because they're showing that and more people are interested in, so what's that, like I haven't heard of that before, it then puts a stronger demand on it. So
what I find interesting is there was like an interview, I think it was part of the San Diego Comic Con, I think, I can't remember, past year or two during the pandemic, and they pretty much had someone from all the big publishers there, so Viz, Kodansha, Yen Press, Square Enix, and another one, I can't remember, and they all kind of said the same thing, interestingly, which this boom wasn't, like percentage wise, this boom wasn't as big as the one in 2006, 2007.
Really?
Well, like comparatively. So there has been like a consistent rise in manga. And so like, yes, more manga has been sold now than it did in 2006, but like the sudden increase was more sudden in 2006, if that makes sense. So like percentage wise, there was a bigger percentage difference, so they struggled more. So like their general consensus was they don't see this lasting another like 2-3 years max.
I feel like
and they imagine it'll die. They say it'll just all their trends, it does this consistently, so like another couple of years and it'll be back to normal.
We can start getting those harder to find volumes.
I think when it comes to like physical, anything that's physical, I think is gonna die out at some point very quickly anyway. And I feel like to be a collector is a lot of commitment, and I don't think, like, I feel like people will jump on the bandwagon now and then they'll just like stop, because even like with our YouTube videos, I noticed like during the pandemic, I know like there was a surge in views, and then it just slowly like died down as I feel like people got back to doing their typical routine and just doing their other things. And I feel like I don't think it's as sustainable as other things, you know, like being like buying manga like physically, like
it's an expensive hobby as well, and if you don't have the money, like if you don't have the money, you're not gonna do it. 100%.
It's not just buy a book, pick it up. It's like, when's a new release? Okay, I need to be up to date. What are the gaps? How, like, which one's the most affordable? Then we start finding deals on this website and that website, and then
it comes really overwhelming as well sometimes. I think, because I've spoken before about a hiatus that I had a few years ago where I just stopped buying for like 2 or 3 years. And like, believe it or not, like before I restarted doing my YouTube again, because I done it like years and years ago. And when I started doing it again, I literally only had one Billy bookcase, and that was it. I had nothing else. So that was, I didn't buy anything else. And then coming back into the hobby, it's like you become overwhelmed, because the reason why I stopped was because I come overwhelmed that I was collecting too many things at once and I couldn't catch up and keep up with everything. And then it became more of a chore rather than a joy to read and collect things. So I liked and I've really enjoyed is it Profitaku? Profitaku. He's done a video on like addiction, and it's definitely one of those, it's one of those like things that I personally struggle with when it comes to buying stuff. Like Reese, my boyfriend, would be like, you don't need to buy them, and I'm like, but I do. What happens if I can't find them again? Or what happens if I
that's what I'm...
And it's like, he's like, but you don't need to drop like 50-60 quid on stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I kind of do, like, please. You know. And it's definitely a struggle, especially with like, for me personally, with like my mental health. So for me, what comes hand in hand is like what makes me feel happy, and that's buying manga. I do read some of the ones that I buy, but not all of them in one go. So that's kind of like my coping mechanism, which is actually probably a really bad thing. But I don't know about you guys. Like, do you guys struggle with that? Like, do you find that could it be borderline addiction, or is it just something you enjoy? Is it a hobby? Like, I'm curious.
Where do you draw the line?
Exactly.
I like, for me, like I'm very similar to Emma. I feel like I had like similar thing where I had a hiatus where I didn't pick up any manga for 2 or 3 years as well. And then when the pandemic happened, that's when I started buying manga again, and it just went skyrocket from there. Now hit like 1,000 volumes in my collection. I remember like beforehand it was only like 300 to 400 volumes or something. So it increased a lot, and probably it's because I had like a full-time job as well, which helped sustain the hobby. But, I feel like it's easy to feel like, even me, like I haven't, because like coming to uni, I had like a lot of issues with my insomnia and that stuff, which like I've been put out of the loop of like what's currently out at the moment with manga. So like I do feel like not pressure, but feel like, oh, like if someone asks me a question of like what's good, I'm like, I'm not too sure. I'll come back to you later. That's the thing. Like I don't have something that's like, it's not, I feel like manga is a big part of my life, but currently it's just been put on the side for a bit because I have other things that I need to work on rather than but I try to keep it at my own pace. But I've noticed that I was talking to Caitlin about it, I think last week, where I noticed that I've been picking up random volumes because of the look of the cover. Then I discover when I read it, I'm like, oh, this is why I need to do my research before picking up a series. I think, especially for me now, like money is quite tight. Like I should start to be more like strategic with like what series I want to pick up. But lately I've just been like, yeah, it looks nice. Let me pick up. Oh, it's within 3 for 2. It's within that price range. Let me just pick it up. It's a free manga. Might as well.
I love how Caitlin's like, yep, 3 for 2, yep.
Honestly, I think most of my new series are cover buyers at this point.
Yeah, but it's quite fun though.
It is.
Sometimes you can find like a really good hidden gem that you would never have known if you hadn't have picked it up randomly just for the cover.
I don't think I've stopped buying manga since I first got. I don't think I've like done a hiatus. I think it just, when I got a full-time job in 2017, that just ramped up. At that point, like even before, like I like joined Instagram before. So like I see a lot of people like, oh, you just buy more manga because you try to keep up with the community to have like big hauls, and it's like, no, I did that before.
Yeah, just showing it now.
Before I took the pictures of them, I was still buying a lot of manga.
Yeah.
Just now I just take pictures of them and videos. Yeah. That's the only difference.
Another thing, like I enjoy buying manga. Just buying it is just such a fun thing. And then the other part is reading it after. Yeah.
Do you actually? I've got a question for you guys. Yeah, 100% agree. It definitely does.
Especially when you find a bargain like Caitlin, like what?
Yes, yeah, like.
Can't say
But
no to
Caitlin
that.
puts in her work though. Caitlin puts in the work to have those hauls. Like it's not Caitlin's not one of those people that goes on eBay and is like, oh, it's £1. Oh, yeah, like Caitlin puts in the hard work to find them. So like it's not like a switch and be like, today's my lucky day. Caitlin is
I do feel sometimes strangely lucky though, and I like randomly search a series on Blackwell's and I'm like, oh, it's half price.
Right? Yeah. Like I go on Blackwell's quite a lot, but I never had like a deal where like I think it was a recent haul where like, yeah, I picked this up for like £3 something, I picked this up for £4 something. I'm like,
oh yeah, I know.
Like how I do it, I always go on Publisher. And then I go from lowest to highest. But probably I don't do it enough like Caitlin, I guess, because I never find such a great deal. Because some of them that comes up is like German volumes. I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't apply to me.
Honestly, I probably check Blackwell's 3 to 4 times a day sometimes.
Okay, I see.
But like I've got like,
you know, the trends, how the money goes
on my home screen. So it's just I've got a minute, tap tap. No, okay. Like it takes like seconds, and then I'll check like World of Books maybe every other day. It depends. If I'm working, I'll check it over my lunch because I'm sat like at my laptop. But like over the weekends and holidays, I don't tend to as much.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions? Actually, we do have lots. Actually,
I think we need to start going through them.
Oh
Oh,
no,
here you
it
go,
auto
Caitlin.
scrolled again for me.
There's one on here. It says a classic manga series. You would recommend to anyone. I think one of my dogs is outside. Do bear with me.
Oh,
Bring it to the live stream.
Hi, baby. What you doing? Gonna come and say hi?
at what point would you deem it a classic?
Come here. Let me see if I can pick him up. He might actually.
Like the most well-known shoujo and shonen series.
Here's
That's like,
Bud.
I mean,
cool.
like One Piece. I'm still
One Piece.
going.
Look.
Mars. Oh,
No, he's
Near the
gone.
dog.
Bye. Good boy.
yeah. I think Mars for shoujo or slash josei, should I say? Because I feel like themes are quite like mature for josei, for shoujo in my opinion. I'm gonna start rereading Mars on Amazon Prime because I didn't know that we can read manga on Amazon Prime.
Can we?
Yeah,
I've got a
Mars is
Kindle.
on Amazon Prime. Huh? Well, you don't need it because you got the physical volumes, but
Oh yeah, that's true.
but like, there's
Have we got GTO on there?
I think there's another series by. Yeah,
I'd be surprised because that's in the Kodansha Digital Library now. Whereas I don't know who owns the rights to Mars now.
Isn't it Kodansha?
Does Kodansha own Mars?
I think.
See?
I think they've got
Oh,
they have GTO, don't they?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh my god.
There's Mars, like there's on Amazon like Prime.
As long as everyone watching this has Amazon Prime, you can just show it.
Yeah, you just go on there.
Oh yeah. Just go there. Can't be showing free cameras like that. I'm joking.
You can do that on Twitch apparently. If people like log in with their Amazon Prime accounts on Twitch, like a streamer can stream a show off Prime and you can like watch along.
Oh.
Because Amazon own Twitch, I think now.
Oh, okay.
Probably
Oh
why.
yeah. That's how they
that
do
makes sense
like,
then.
like I think
Prime
that's how
subs.
you pay. Yeah. Pay them something like that.
You can get free sub a month.
Oh,
so,
someone said, I have some recommendations. Someone said, "Am I the only one waiting for gay manga recommendations?"
Yeah.
I want like be specific. I'm guessing like LGBTQ plus rather than just rather than BL.
Yeah.
BL. I have I Hear the Sunspot, which is a very wholesome series. And also, do I have it? Don't tell me my mum took it home. She probably did take it home. No, she didn't. I swear. What? No. It's Boy Meets Maria. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Boy Meets Maria is really good. It does have like trigger warning, like it does include a rape scene, which is very unfortunate. However, it's a very wholesome series, and I think it's beautiful. It just shows that like it's okay. Love who you want to love. Yeah.
Can we do an honorary shout out?
Good.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh
yeah. It hasn't been mentioned yet. Flood the chat with swords, guys, if you know what this is.
I've still not seen Volume 2 in store yet.
Nor have I.
Neither have I.
I swear I had that pre-ordered. I swear I pre-ordered it as soon as I read Volume 1 because I was like, I need to know what happens. I think for my gay recommendation would probably be just Blue Flag. Like I think it's really well written. There's stuff at the end that I know us three talked about. We feel that they could have expanded on the series and made it longer because certain things were missed out on how decisions were made within couplings and stuff. But it's definitely a wholesome series, and Blue Flag. Oh, Christina says saucy manga. Give us your saucy manga, girls.
Oh,
Where to start?
wow.
Do you want more
Actually,
Faku?
Go on
Yeah, I
then.
was gonna
Give it to us. Give it to us.
I'm not sure you want them.
Give us the tags. Is it tags? Like,
Yeah, on the is that on the site?
If I can find, I'll find. I'm gonna
so we
avoid
know what
the.
type of what is included in the saucy manga.
I'm going to avoid the NTR ones and the
What
weird
does
horror ones.
NTR mean again?
I'm not telling you on stream.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Oh, we have got a quick recommendation from somebody for BL. It's Restart After Growing Hungry. It's a good BL, apparently. I don't know what that is, but okay.
There's another one. Is called Our Dining Table. I think it's called Our Dining Table.
I just like Caitlin's face. She's like,
Yeah.
she looks so.
I think it's either Our Dining Table or What Did You Eat Today or something. One of those series.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been talking about it, and I have been seeing it in my Forbidden Planet. However, I didn't know. Sorry, I can hear me outside my room. I think there's like a house party or something.
Oh yes, Fire in the Fingertips. Definitely, that is my saucy recommendation.
But I didn't know Our Dining Table or either What Did You Eat Today. I didn't know there was that many volumes because there was like 12 volumes or like 18. No, I think 18 volumes in Forbidden Planet. I was like, okay, right now I cannot afford to just pick up loads of manga, so maybe another time. But I have seen that no one has touched it, so probably they will like be there for a long time. But I do know that some Forbidden Planet, they do clear out their stock if they don't sell some of the volumes, because I've noticed that they did that with Perfect World. And I'm like, where did Perfect World go? And they just like took it away. Yeah, sorry.
Come then, Caitlin, saucy manga of the evening.
Well, actually, I thought of another one that's not a Faku, and I mean, it's not saucy in the most conventional way. I don't know if you know of a series called J.K. Haru.
No.
So J.K. Haru is a sex worker in another world. It's an isekai. And
of course it is.
And the premise is this girl is being isekai'd into another world with one of her classmates, like high school, and he's a dude. And in this isekai world, like the dudes are treated really well. He's like become an adventurer. He's treated like really well. He's a first class warrior. He goes out and fights stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're so great." But she isn't. She's just a woman. And to make ends meet and not be on the street, she ends up having to work in a brothel.
Okay.
So you do see very explicit scenes with her and like clientele, but it's not necessarily nice. She's not necessarily treated well, but it's actually quite an interesting dark take on
this
the genre.
reminds me of something that I used to read. This is like an old series called like Deep Love, and it was like certain like stories about like stuff like that as well, which is interesting. Sorry, I was gonna say, what about World's End Harem, since we were checking it out?
Oh my god.
I would not call it good.
Trash.
It's questionable, isn't it? It's questionable.
It's like one of it does the genre of, oh no, only some dudes left. Well, how else are we going to repopulate the planet? Yeah. And it does that trope well. Is that trope good? Is a different question.
Yeah.
It's the story the story itself can be interesting. Some of the other bits a little lesser. A little lesser.
I'm still questioning the fact that they actually made an anime from that and it was on Crunchyroll. I'm still questioning that. Like,
I like that we tried to go and watch it and I was like, this is the bit where it gets explicit, and then it just sort of skipped to the next day. I was like, oh, okay, well there was a sex scene there in the manga.
For any of you guys that didn't know, we done like a pre-stream a couple of days ago, and like we were we decided to have a look at this like anime, and yeah, definitely questionable. Definitely interesting. Are they shouting again?
Yeah. Just give me a second. You guys continue. I'm just gonna look out my peephole, whatever it's
Okay.
called. I was gonna say I'm gonna look at my pee hole. I'm like,
I'll jump over.
Okay.
Favorite snack to eat while reading manga?
Ooh.
I'll literally eat anything. I'll eat like a full meal while reading manga. Just manga on one hand, fork in the other. Pizza. I ate some sushi earlier while reading manga. Literally anything. I'll eat crisps. I'll just keep them in separate hands.
How do you turn the page? Oh, you do it with one hand?
Yeah.
Oh, that's skills that my brain couldn't
Yeah, I've like
compute.
buggered my thumb though. Like I've got like a twitchy nerve here, and I'm like 90% positive it's from like holding volumes open, because that one like this one is the one I hold it with, and it bends more than this one.
oh, what's your favorite snack to eat while reading manga? I tend to not snack really. I just read when I feel like it. I tend to be a mood reader. So yeah, if I'm hungry, I'll be eating rather than reading.
I think it depends. Sometimes I can eat sweet stuff, and other times I just want. Reese has just put mine is ice cream. How is mine ice cream? I don't chug down the ice cream while read some manga. I
Let it
normally
melt
read
a
in
little
bed.
and drink it.
Yeah, this is no, I think I'm a bit like Tiffany. I'm a mix between the two. I'm a mood reader. I like last month I like read so much, and this month I've read nothing. But also it just depends. I normally go for sweets, to be honest, if I'm eating anything. So it's probably like a bar of chocolate or something, which I don't do too often. But yeah.
Oh, mine would be Tanfastics actually. I like sour, like sweet, like what's it called? Like fizzy belts or like fizzy cola, like strip things. Oh, so good. And Tanfastics.
Oh, we've got another one. Mention one manga you cried with, one manga you laughed with, and one manga you went flipping angry because of.
That's easy for me.
Go on then.
Wait, actually, I need to think.
Fire away.
Oh, wait. I cried. This one. My friend was reading this, by the way. Let me cover this. So, A Life Turned Upside Down. My dad's an alcoholic. So, this series, I cried just reading. Oh, shit. Reading the whole thing, I was just crying like every step of the way until I finished it. And I think I just went into like I just went into a sad mode where I just had to reflect on so many things in my life, because like everything in that that one shot, I could just relate to everything in a different way, because I don't need to go into specifics, but yeah, that would be manga that I cried with. Laughed. I no, actually, I'll skip the laugh. Flipping angry. Prince Freya. Sorry for the Prince Freya. Sorry, Emma.
You literally hate that with a passion. It's so funny. How about you, Caitlin? What are yours?
I think cried at, I like properly bawled at the Dr. Stone, the reboot spin-off one shot. I've forgotten what the one about his dad. I like properly bawled at that one and couldn't stop bawling. Nothing will make sense unless you've read Dr. Stone up to a certain point and to the end of Treasure.
You guys make me want to read Stone so bad. Like, I know there's like lots of hate within certain people in the manga community with Dr. Stone, but like just you two, that I feel like it makes me want to. You guys make me want to pick up really bad. But I'm like,
definitely check it out on the Shonen Jump app first, though.
Okay, I think that's a smart move. That's a very strategic smart move. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll save my money.
Laughed with, like, I feel like I always laugh at Grand Blue Dreaming. I love Grand Blue Dreaming. It like that like immature college humor. It's just I love it. It's just dumb and amazing all at once.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, is there quite a lot of humorous like manga? Like, because I can't think of one in my head right now.
The Way of the House Husband? That's quite funny. What about what's the one that would make you flip out angry for
yeah.
Caitlin.
Sorry.
Shortcake cake.
Yeah, that one scene. That one
The whole
scene.
damn volume. I think it's like volume 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
have you read? You haven't read it yet, have you, Tiffany?
No, I haven't finished reading it. I'm like really early, and I'm like volume 1, 2, 3 or something.
No, me and Caitlin were like, oh, weren't we, Caitlin?
Yeah.
You said you still liked it afterwards.
Yeah, I
couldn't
did. It was just that volume. It's that particular scene, and I was like, really?
I properly got angry at it. Like I didn't like properly throw it across the room, but I threw it like across the sofa, and I was like, Ben, I'm not having this. This is not okay. And then I had to, of course, explain the story to him so he understood why I was angry. Unfortunately for him, I was
Were you throwing fists in the air like, God?
Why did she didn't need
Can't even contain herself right now. I've never seen Caitlin like this in my life. She can't contain it.
I can't believe how like my opinions of the main character like completely went through the floor. I was so disappointed in her. If I was like a friend, family member, I would have been like, you come on. Have like a little like
Okay, I'll wait until I read volume 6 and then we can chat.
We need to jump in the group chat for real. Yeah. I think I don't know if this Roach, you're literally hitting my laptop. Thank you. I don't know if there's one that I've necessarily bawled over per se, not that I can remember. But one that I laugh at just all the time is just One Piece. It's just, I know it sounds cliche because it's such a long series. There's serious moments in it. There's like numerous different things in that series, but honestly, the humor, Oda just like knocks it out the park every single time. It's just so funny, and the characters are so goofy, and I literally just love them. But for my one that I get angry at is Love of Hearts. It's got this creepy dude in it.
Oh no,
and
I love it.
My god, how this girl has not figured out that he is a creepy ass mother effer. Like, for real, he is so weird. Like, how can you not put 2 and 2 together? The dude's arrived in your house randomly, and strange things are happening since he's arrived. How have you not put them to? How? I don't get it. And it just every single time something weird happens, I'm literally like,
it?
I am, because I'm a psycho and I can't help it. I'm putting myself through more torture because I need to know what happened.
I love it. I don't get like, I'm just like I weirdly find it sweet, but because it's in a book.
yeah.
Like, if it was real, that's not fine. But it's in a book, and I'm like, sweet might not be the right word. But I'm reading it and I'm like, oh no, that's not right either. I don't know. I do enjoy it. Like, I like the drama. I like romance with drama, like the kidnappings, murders. That's what I want from a romance. That sort of thing.
Ben, you're right.
Yeah.
This can get a bit boring if it's just like normal.
Do you love watching crime documentaries, Caitlin?
Some of my favorite kind of TV show is like episodic murder mysteries, Midsummer Murders.
To be fair, anything that keeps you on the edge of your seat is an enjoyable thing to be. So I can actually know I get it.
Really will feel that in real life, innit? Like,
yeah.
So it's like,
well, you don't want to feel that in real life.
No one wants to go through that. God knows, God forbid.
I think it's a bit like, I'm a bit like you with that series, Kate. Although I get really, really angry, I'm so intrigued by it because I'm like, I need to know what happens, and I'm like, are you gonna? Is this gonna be are you really gonna get together with this kid? And because obviously there's a best friend that has feelings for her, and I'm like, but he's so cute. Like, why does the best friend always get like trashed over? Like,
because he's the boring option.
Well, yeah, I suppose so, but yeah.
I'll jump to the next question.
Okay,
Oh yeah, we'll quickly go through it since we're like not running out.
I think there was one slightly higher than that. Are there any manga that are out of print that you wish you had picked up while they were in shops? Oh, there you go.
Mars.
GTO.
GTO. Well, I got that in Japanese now.
Cromartie High School.
I think mine are going to be literally just classic shoujo beat titles. So Red River, Basara, not actually Basara, and Boys Over Flowers, without a doubt. But mostly Basara. I would love for Seven Seas to actually get licensed. If you guys are interested in that, by the way, it's our post-apocalyptic kind of series, and it's actually got an anime on Netflix. FYI, check it out. Yeah, I think those ones, 100%.
Yeah, this is not out of print, but I just wish I had the money to just pick up very easily. But Kimi ni Todoke, like that's a series that I'm so jealous, Emma. You have it, but
I don't have it all though. I'm missing 5 volumes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you got the series, Kaylin, or nah?
I have like 6 volumes, but like all over the place because I buy them when I see them secondhand. So I'm only paying like £3 a volume. But like that's been over like a year and a half.
They don't come up very often now. I think because I think thankfully there's quite a few TikTokers that are massive shoujo fans, so they've been like proper pushing shoujo, and in doing that the demand has increased for them. So I'm hoping that because of that, maybe we'll see, obviously the reprinting situation, but I'm hoping that we'll see reprints of some of the stuff because of the surge.
Viz have announced reprints for Kimi ni Todoke, but they've not set dates on most of the volumes. I think they've only set dates on like 2 of them, and it was like I don't know, I can't remember. But it's just they've said they are
in like 5 or 10 years time.
That's fine. We'll still be collecting, so it's no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know how you know I like my isekai. I'm not sure what impression I have given for you to think that.
The queen of isekai, obviously.
Besides that, you are also correct.
Yeah. Mine would have to be like slice of life. Now, like nowadays, slice of life. Smut will always be there. That is a definite. And fluffy romances. Like sometimes you just don't want to read like anything that's like too like plot heavy. You just want to read something light and just like make you like feel fluffy and that stuff. So fluffy. Yeah. But I do love like adventure. I love reading a manga and where it takes me on like a journey where I'm like I want to read more. Yeah.
I think I have such varied tastes, so I think I'm quite similar to Caitlin when Caitlin's got a very large collection, a very different array of stuff within that collection, and I think that's the same. Like when I was younger, it was definitely more like romances and stuff like that, and then as I got older, I've still enjoyed romances. I've enjoyed smutty romances. But I just like to read anything that will enable me to escape into that world, if that makes sense. So
that's how I felt with Slumland.
Yeah, like I just like a series that will make me want to completely like get indulged in that. So like you could be reading it for hours and not even realize that you've done it because you're just wanting to jump to the next one. So like anything like that, but I really do enjoy like dark fantasies, like adventure stuff, romance. I just like anything really, anything that piques my interest.
Oh, have
Then
you tried reading Berserk then?
no, I haven't.
really
But
wanna
that's
read that.
I think that's because I've seen a couple of panels where I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. There was like a scene where, I don't know if this is a spoiler, I don't know, but it was like these fairies, and it was just like a very uncomfortable, I think it was like a rape scene or something, and I was just like, these things are fairies, and I was like, out of all the things for me to like stumble upon for Berserk, it would have to be a scene like that. And then straight away I was kind of like put off of it a little bit. But I've heard that it's such a great dark fantasy, but I don't know, because obviously if that's the one thing that I've been exposed to from that series, it's kind of put me off a little bit. But if you guys have read it and like say to just give it a go anyway, like do let me know, because obviously it's very critically acclaimed, but I haven't had any.
Yeah, my boyfriend absolutely loves Berserk, but I asked him, like, shall I read, like, do you think I will like it? He said, definitely don't recommend it to you, but it's a great series.
How about you, Caitlin? Have you started it?
I've read volume 1.
Okay.
It was, I think it was less gory than I expected, because like everyone hypes it up as like, oh, it's super gory, and I was like,
yeah,
it is gory. I just was like, I was expecting more gore. It was fine. I know I need to get more into it. There's a couple of arcs I hear is like where it like hits its peak, and I'm like, well, obviously nowhere near that. Reading only volume 1. I have like I do have all the singles.
Yeah.
Because my Forbidden Planet had them all.
Oh yeah, I remember that haul you done. That was amazing.
It was just all Berserk.
Yeah, literally.
My Forbidden Planet does keep stocking up the singles. They don't, which is interesting, because I wasn't sure if Dark Horse would keep printing the singles with them now doing the deluxe editions, but the new volumes do keep popping up. I mean, when I first did my really big haul, I was still missing like 3 or 4 volumes, but I picked up a few of them from Forbidden Planet over time because they kept stocking them, and then I got the last couple somewhere else. They're all plastic wrapped.
I just saw a comment. I know this is like the most recent comment, but is like is the newest comment, I think. It says, whatever genre Kotaro Lives Alone comes under, like slice of life and drama together. One of my favorites. Action is usually my go-to, but I love slice of life with drama. That is a series I want to recommend everyone to like watch on Netflix. It's called Kotaro Lives Alone, and it's about, I think, a 3-year-old boy who lives alone, and it is the most, it's beautiful. That's all I have to say.
Is that like what is it? I think I've seen a trailer and he's like asking if there's a bath or somewhere or something. Yeah, like my brother doesn't watch anime really at all, and him and his girlfriend watched it, and they were like, Emma, you really need to watch it. It's like the most cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's so wholesome, and it just makes you feel fuzzy inside. And I was like, oh, okay.
It has so many, like, you'll think, oh, it's just a wholesome anime, but there's so many like deeper elements in the anime that they like mention, and you're thinking, wow, like it puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And so that's why it's good. I don't want to gas it up too much, but it's I just wanted to mention it because I saw the comment. I was like, I need to mention it to you guys. What is the next question?
My thing scrolled.
Where are they? Oh, there's Live Life Like a Fairy Tale. Do you have any mangas that have an anime you've seen, but there isn't a translated manga for it that you're waiting for, hoping it'll come out in English?
No, I can't think of it.
No. I don't know about you, but I've been so behind in animes recently. Like I used to watch them all the time, but because of work and stuff and being like with my health not great, I haven't had a chance to. So all I've been doing really is reading. So there isn't really. And then the only one that I would have said would have been Tokyo Avengers, but I would have spun it the other way around and been like, I've read the manga, but it hasn't got an anime. And obviously now it's got an anime, it didn't have like a physical English release, but now it's getting one. So I'm all happy. I'm all good.
I've noticed, like, since I come to uni, like, again, like, I'm definitely more of a manga reader because the anime fans here is different. They're like, oh, you don't know this, you don't know this. I'm like, yeah, maybe I am just more of a manga reader and just watch whatever anime I prefer rather than what's up and going right now. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
I think, Caitlin, you don't really watch too much anime, do you? Or if any, you're just a manga reader only. Yeah.
It's not like it's not like I hate anime. It's just like with all the time I don't have, if I'm to prioritize one medium, I'm gonna pick manga because I prefer reading generally to watching. It's not to say I don't like anime. It's just if I don't have as much time as I like, if I have to choose one, I choose manga. So I have like seen some anime, and sometimes like my partner watches anime, and if it's on in the background, I'll see a bit of it. But like usually, I'm doing something else when he does that.
Plus, it's just easier to read the manga. It's like all you have to do is like look at one of like the big three from when like sort of like I was younger, like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Who's gonna realistically sit and watch like over 1,000 episodes? Because that's a lot of time to invest. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did watch quite a few of them. I'm almost up to date, but like realistically, not everybody is going to. But everybody can just pick up a volume every now and again and like read. So yeah, I don't know. What's the next question?
I've picked this random one I've scrolled to.
Okay.
Any specific genres that you enjoy reading? Any niche genres? I really like villainess isekais. I love villainess isekais because they usually have the dramatic romance that I want. Plus, it's an isekai.
Niche
How about you, Tiffany?
Nothing's popping in my head right now. I have read something called, it's not in English though, it's called Suicide Island, and I really enjoyed it because it reminded me of Lord of the Flies. That's why. But
I have a very specific genre that I enjoy reading, which is anything that takes place on an island / beach village. Do you have any niche genres that you enjoy reading? I don't know. So I think I have so many things that I like reading that it's really hard to like choose. But honestly, if I'm something that I always gravitate towards, anything like this, basically anything dark, possible taboo subjects, but it depends in what the context is. So like this is a fantasy, so it's not realistic because of what the context is in the story. But I think anything dark fantasy related, I think, yeah, and especially dark fantasy shoujo. So I really enjoy Kariuki's work, and some of Yu Watase's older works, like Ceres. That's another one that's more of a dark shoujo. Yeah, I think something like that. They're probably the ones that I tend to gravitate towards the most. I actually I've got a question for you guys as well as the viewers. If this could be a hot take as well. If you are a shonen lover of anime and manga, how do you like to consume the series? Do you prefer it in anime form or do you prefer it in manga form? I say that because sometimes some of the action scenes are easier to follow. So like, especially if it's like a sports manga, I find it's easier to follow in the anime than in the manga. I mean, that's probably going to be a proper hot take and people are going to roast me, but I'm just curious, like, what do you guys think? Katie's laughing. I'm nervous.
Shoujo manga format, shonen anime format. I do love manga with shonen manga. I felt like, but I feel like just anime, it catches my eye a lot more. I think it's just like I just get so intrigued. But of course I'll mention TPN season 2 does not exist. Only season 1. Read the manga. Just read the manga. There we go.
Yeah.
I think I've been preaching this since I've read it and watched season 1, and tried to watch season 2, but we don't talk about that.
No. I know you don't read, you don't watch too much anime, Caitlin, but do you find it sometimes when you read Battle Shonen in particular, sometimes it can be hard to follow, like some of the panels, because there's so much stuff going on?
No.
It's got a very imaginative,
I find it. I usually find it easier because then I can take it at my own pace, and like I can look at the art and figure out who's likes who's, and then I'm fine. I think I'm not too bothered about the action. Potentially color would make it easier to differentiate, like in a proper fighting scene. But I'm just not too bothered about action. I don't know. I just.
I think by the looks of it, the genuine consensus is we've got manga, and then if I enjoy the manga, I follow up with the anime. Depends on the series. Some are better to watch, some are better reading. I prefer sports manga to the anime. Oh, that's interesting. See, I would definitely.
Haikyuu.
Yeah, I think Haikyuu. I really enjoyed the anime
said,
for that.
Manga's better than the anime, so
really,
that makes me even more intrigued. Yeah,
100%. Fingers crossed they come out with a box set.
We'll manifest it like the Demon Slayer box set.
Yeah. And then we've got, even though I like both, I prefer the manga because the anime will almost always censor or tone something down. I hate censoring. Okay, fair enough.
Reading manga sometimes feel like you watched it, but actually you just read it, and your imagination just put the color or the just the whole story put together. Which, I think reading manga has been more enjoyable for me. There's sometimes anime I can put it on and I'll be like, oh, I'm bored now. Then I keep it in the background. And then I feel like I can't enjoy it for what it is. There are certain anime that I love, of course. And I remember, I think a couple months ago, where I was binge watching the new adaptation of Fruits Basket, where I was adamant that the original was better. I've been saying that for a long time. And then I just binge watched a new adaptation. I think I'll binge watch it 3 times in a row. Okay,
it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah, I watched it within a few days. Then I rewatched it again. Then I rewatched it again because I loved it so much that I was like, I need to live through this once more. Another time, once more.
Caitlin, if you get chance to watch the reboot, it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, so beautiful.
Wait, have you read Fruits Basket, or you just have the collector's edition?
I'm collecting the collector's ones, but I started finding them secondhand, and the moment I start finding a series secondhand, I don't want to buy anything but, because I've been buying. I've got 2 of them for £8 each, and I'm like, well, I want to keep paying those prices.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
they're pricey volumes. They're chunky. They're yen press. Yeah, that's the only thing, because they're not there's no shine on the cover. It just feels like printed cardstock. That's the only downside about them. But then, to be fair, even the Tokyo Pop ones, because they're so old now, you're not going to find really that many. Indeed, I've tried to keep mine out of the sun, and for the most part they are. I would love to have them over with the rest of the collection, but I'm just so scared of getting them ruined because they're my very first series, so I've shoved them down the bottom so no sun can get to them in bags.
Mine is literally at the back, and the back is covered by other books as well, because I don't feel like some of it doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing compared to my other volumes now, because like I said, a lot of my spines are what's it called, lightened, and then the Tokyo Pop logo does not even match through some of them. It's just doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing, so I'm like, I'll just shove you at the back. You're well loved, but you're at the back. Yeah, don't need to show you off.
No. What's the next question?
Jump to. So, do you guys go to any cons? Are there any good cons for manga enthusiasts? I don't think there's any specific manga cons in the UK.
Yeah, there is like comic cons, like
Yeah,
as
we
in
just
like
Mm,
cons for
MCM.
like cosplay and that stuff. There's
Yeah.
quite a few around like the UK, but they're quite niche, I'll say. Like compared to like other countries, like I don't know, like in the States or like in Australia, they have a lot more variety compared to here, I'll say.
I mean,
But
you
there's a
went
lot
to a
of
con last year, didn't you?
yeah, I went
You
to
went
MCM Comic Con in London, which was
Mm.
it was alright, you know, not amazing. I think it's because of the whole pandemic. Like, yeah, everything was quite limited in a way. Like, it used to be so big, but then I went, I was like, and also that day I had food poisoning, so I wasn't really enjoying myself. I was just mostly like in the toilet of Comic Con, like in and out. So, yeah,
Oh, an
felt so
awful
bad
thing to
because
have.
I was with Bakahime as well, who like I don't know if she posts any like manga videos anymore, but she's still active over on Instagram. And
Yeah.
like, I felt so bad because like she was just waiting for me the whole time at Comic Con outside the toilet. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I have to go again. Like I'll come out and I'm like, actually no, I'm not ready yet. I'm going back up again. See you later.
Oh
I felt
god.
so bad, but I'm glad. Like I don't think I've like anyone recognized me or seen me or anything like that. So it's cool. I wasn't like, hi. Oh, sorry, I've got to
Incognito.
bounce. I need to go to the loo. Sorry. Nice meeting you. That type of thing. But I still like it was still good. But yeah. But I know there's quite a few cons happening in May. I think. Yeah.
Usually there's one in Manchester, and apparently there's one in Leeds. I went to the Manchester one like pre-pandemics, like 2018, I think, that I went. And it was just so crowded. Like you couldn't actually get to any of the stalls, and I just was a bit put off. And genuinely, the main reason I wanted to go was because the guy who does the voice of Tigger was there, and he bailed. He bailed the day off, and I was like, "Well, I'm not bothered anymore."
Oh
We left
no.
after not that long.
I'd love to go to a con. Me and Reese wanted to go in 2020 we were going to go, and obviously the pandemic, so that paused over anything that we were going to do. So we still are yet to go to our very first con, so maybe this year. I wanted to go to the one in London in May, but I'm working and I can't get the time off. So I'm going to see if there must be one somewhere the latter half of the year, but I'm not quite sure where. I think Manchester might be October time, is it?
There's always going to be like London, Manchester, Birmingham.
Yeah.
And, like, those areas. There's always something going on at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there any next question?
Next question.
Yeah. I met a lot of cosplayers though coming to uni. I'm like a lot of like people I know of. They're like cosplayers. I'm like, oh, interesting. Nice.
Opinions on Sakamoto Days. I want to pick it up, but it's not out in the UK yet.
I don't know what it is. Sorry.
It's a Shonen Jump Viz series.
Okay.
It's meant to be really good. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram pick it up and say they've enjoyed it. But it's not out in the UK yet.
I think it comes out in like May, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's sometime in May.
It's definitely on my pre-order. I read the first volume on the Shonen Jump app, and it looked interesting. The premise seems interesting. The bloke is like a retired, is he assassin or something along those lines, or spy or something like that, and he owns a store, and they've come to basically try and kill him, and doesn't really go according to plan. And yeah, it's I think it's going to be quite an interesting series. It's definitely not something style wise that I go to gravitate towards, but the first chapter seemed interesting, so I've got it pre-ordered, and if I don't like it, I'll probably give it away. Give it to somebody who would like to appreciate it.
Yeah.
More than me.
I've noticed in all the live streams that we've done, I've always been eating or like just constantly drinking. Like I was like watching myself. I'm like, yeah, I do eat. I remember one time I had a Chinese takeaway on like the stream.
Oh yeah.
There's always like issues. Like I remember when there was like bugs everywhere at one point. Now I got like
Oh yeah,
noisy
the
neighbor.
moth. Caitlin, do you remember
Yeah.
the moth?
Oh.
That was so funny.
Oh. This is why I don't host the streams that often, I think. Also, my Wi-Fi is horrible.
Have
the
you
next one?
guys binged any series recently? I recently caught up on Black Clover. I've been loving it.
Boys Run the Riot?
Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight,
Yeah.
but not 11 and 12 because I don't have 11.
I have done actually. Let me see if I can find it because I put it on my Instagram story. I read like a crap ton last month. Like,
Yeah, you
and
read
I've
so
been.
much. You read,
Oh,
Queen's
it was because
Quality.
it's because I had my tooth out, so I was so bored and in so much pain that I was just like, I'm just gonna read. So that is literally what I done. So I read Shortcake Cake, like 1 to 12. That was the complete series. Me and Caitlin have like interest opinions on this. Caitlin didn't like Shortcake Cake from volume 6, did you? Like we discussed this earlier on. I'm like, I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. Volume 6 was like irritating. There was something that happens in it and you think, really? Like it could have been done so much better.
Does it get dealt with in volume 6 or does it prolong into the Oh,
it's hard to say without being spoiler, isn't it? It's just like
okay.
it's like a comment that's made or how a situation is dealt with, and it's like, but you had all this time and how can we?
I feel it changes the dynamic of a character,
Yeah.
and I liked the character before, and I didn't like the character afterwards.
Yeah, because it kind of made her, because she was kind of like a strong, independent, I don't really give a shit about what other people think of me kind of character. And in saying the few things or the few lines that she said in volume 6, and what she had done, it just changes her as a person. Like what you thought of her isn't how she is, and it was really weird. Like I liked how it wrapped up, so like what happened with the other characters and how situations were dealt with and stuff, but yeah, me and Caitlin are kind of on Caitlin's just angry. She's still stewing over this series.
I feel like Caitlin looks more angry than me with Prince Freya, so I'm guessing. Oh, interesting.
There were 2 other ones that I binged. So, Love Me, Love Me Not by Ayasaki Saka. That Caitlin as well. You said it's your favorite one, isn't it? Of all the ones you've read of her, and I think I have to agree. The two female leads having two different versions of high school romance and how people perceive their first love and everything else, like all the trials and like tribulations that they go through to get to how they end. I really enjoyed it. Like it probably was my favorite one out of Ayasaki Saka. And then finally for binge reading was QQ Sweeper and Queen's Quality. Oh my god, please read it. That's all I'm going to say. It's so good. Like it's such a, I don't think the author necessarily went into it making it about mental health, but it's not necessarily like a mental health positive type series, but it makes you think of things differently. So they basically, these sweepers, and they go into people's consciousness while they're asleep through doors, and they go in and sweep out negative energy, negative thoughts, and basically they are like little bug things. And in order to do the sweeping, they have to like clean out the mind. And in doing so, it like saves characters from maybe hurting themselves, hurting others, like committing suicide and all sorts of other different things. And that's just one part of the story. And then the other part of the story, you've got these different clans from different parts of like this gate, and Fumi, and she has these special powers, and she could go one of 2 ways. Could she be evil? Could she be like an amazing, incredible character that saves that can control these bugs and save people. Like, what can she do? And it's such a good series, and it's done by the same author that does Dengeki Daisy. So if you enjoyed that series, definitely pick it up. And yes, you do have to read QQ Sweeper in order to read Queen's Quality. It's a prequel. But if you are thinking about it and you're unsure, please give it a go. It's so underappreciated, and I really hope that it gets an anime. And if it does, it gets a decent anime, because it's so good. So good.
Mm.
That's all I have to say.
Nice. I'm trying to see what is the next question.
I was going to say, do you want to do another question, or do you want to start wrapping up?
We can start wrapping up. Yeah.
Do you have any preference?
Let's see. Let me see if there's any questions left. To be honest, I've been scrolling and I haven't seen any questions. I've just seen.
There's one that says, "Have you considered reading Ten Dance?" Is that a BL? I think it is, isn't it?
If it's not horror, I'll happily read it.
Oh, there was another one. What is a manga that helped you during depressing times?
Sorry, that was a weird noise that I made.
You sounded like a dolphin.
Is that what dolphin makes? Like the sound? Oh yes. Someone said it is a BL, Ten Dance.
I feel like sometimes just in general reading manga has helped. It's not necessarily mattered what I've been reading. Especially if I've gotten into the series and I'm enjoying it. It's like it doesn't matter what it's about. And now I can't think of any.
Like, I remember it was a dark time in my life. But and I binge read like the whole of Vampire Knight and that stuff. But I won't say that's a comforting series at all. It's more like, oh, the plot's kind of like complicated in some ways, whereas like this does not make sense. But okay.
It was just something that took your mind off of what was going on.
Yeah, because I had like, I think by then it was complete already. So I read all, I think it had 90 chapters by then. So like, I read it all. I was like, And then when Memories came out, I was like, oh, there's more. But I'm trying to think.
Mine's more for me. What was your one?
Mine would be more anime, like Kami-sama Kiss.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So, I think that's my go-to when I feel a bit sad. I just watch it and that makes me feel better.
I think the same for me. I think same with Caitlin. For me, it's like reading in general is a coping mechanism. But if I'm really, really in a place where I can't concentrate, then it's One Piece. I've got all of the DVDs, so it's mindless. I can put it on, I can laugh about it. Like, it always makes me laugh, and that's the one series that I think we have one that says a manga that represents you and you or your life at the moment. I think for me, Sweat and Soap.
Reese's Kotaro and your ass.
I think, but it's kind of that awkward, that awkward time period. It's kind of like that. We don't really know what's going on, kind of thing. And I think that kind of sits in quite nicely, I think.
Nice.
I just made it sound really awkward. We do not sniff each other, by the way. That's not part of the thing, okay? That's not part of the thing, just to clarify.
I feel like I could relate to the Sweat and Soap quite a lot with like the sweating issue, because that's something that I won't say I'm insecure about, but man, I do sweat a lot. And I'm like, damn. I get so jealous when people don't perspire. I'm like, damn. Like, especially at the gym, I'm like just dripping, or like I just go out. I know, even out the shower, you will see all my sweat beads on my nose, and I'll start to have the sweat stash and everything. I'm like, God, I just came out the shower as well. Sorry. Yeah. And I do like smelling. No, actually, that sounds very weird. But I have a very sensitive smell. Like, if I smell something rank, I will tell you something smells rank. If it smells something nice, I will tell you it smells nice. I remember today, I went out and I just smelled like a bunch of piss. like somewhere, and I just had to walk away. And my friend's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "It smells like piss." She's like, "I can't smell it." I'm like, "You can't smell it?" I was like, "It's so strong. It's like
You have
harassing my
Coco's
nose."
nose. You have the
Yeah.
sensitive smell.
Everything's very sensitive. I don't. That's why I prefer light scents over heavy scents. Yeah. I get very disturbed easily when something smells like very strong, or like something does not smell right. Like ever since I got, something 19, like I can't smell onions no more. I can't eat no eggs. Eggs stink. Like it tastes like something just came out my ass. And onions just smell. They just smell weird. They smell like armpits. Yes. They smell like BO. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so
Sometimes I smell my
grim.
armpit and I'm like, bruh, it smells like the onions that smell like BO. Sorry. Am I being too? Am I patting out my bum again? Is it that late? Struggles.
I think there was one more question, and I think that is: have you seen the Jujutsu Kaisen movie?
I haven't even read it, love. So
I
didn't even know.
Is it worth
if the guy
watching?
had his own thing or not.
Is it worth watching? I don't even think it's going to come out. Is it even out in the UK in cinemas?
Yeah, it's in
it
cinema.
is.
Yeah. A few of
I
my
don't
friends
think it's
watched it
local for me though. I think they're just doing it in major cities, aren't they?
Some of them are in like what was it called?
My local town had it.
Really?
Yeah.
I looked
had
at
it in,
Brighton
like,
one and
the
they didn't have anything. I was so gutted.
I'm gonna read the manga volume. It's based on Zero, isn't it? I just need to for that to be restocked, and then I'll just read that.
Damn it! Do you know what? When I was up in London, when I went down to Southampton, they had like a shit ton of them. Like they had like almost a whole shelf full of like volume zeros. If I'd known, I'd have picked it up.
I've had it like on order twice, and both times it's gone cancelled, and they're from 2 different sites.
What the heck? That's ridiculous.
My travelling man has them. They're just not 3 for 2 yet. So I've not bought it.
What about your Forbidden Planet in Leeds? Or
it didn't.
They don't have.
They have like the latest. Actually, they didn't even have 15. They only had like 3 volumes of 14 in Forbidden Planet.
Mine didn't even have volume 14. I think it just had 13. So
I feel like the Forbidden Planet isn't able to hold on to Viz new releases as well as the Traveling Man. I don't quite understand why.
Maybe because it's not free to do, that's why.
Yeah.
No one wants to pay.
Like in general, I feel like it. To be fair, when people think about buying manga in Leeds, they probably will know more of the Forbidden Planet than they will of the Traveling Man.
Probably.
So there's a chance that like because you see a lot of like younger kids, like teens, and they tend to go for the not to stereotype, but they tend to go for the Viz shonens. But you don't tend to see them in that sort of demographic in Traveling Man as much. You see them a lot in Forbidden Planet. So I feel like Forbidden Planet gets like the shonens get milked by them. But I'm just waiting. It's just.
But then I think, to be fair, I would never have heard of Traveller Man if you hadn't. Mind you, we don't have it down here. But like, if you hadn't have introduced it to us, Caitlin, I don't know about you, Tiffany, but I wouldn't have never shopped on there. But they have such a so I think maybe they just don't know. Maybe they just don't know about it. Maybe
and that's fine. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Stop telling people they're gonna take your hotspot. Like,
like when I go online now, like Traveling Man has like 70 something pages. I remember before it didn't have like 30 or 20.
Yeah.
So crazy. Yeah, it really like. Yeah.
They even sometimes stock volumes at like a decent 3 for 2 kind of price that aren't Viz.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I got some certain soap off there.
They've got some proper goods, and I've liked the fact that they're also starting to put figures on there as well. Like, I love that because I don't really see any places in the UK that sell them. I mean, like, Mankind's starting to. If you know Mankind,
no, never heard of it.
Oh, is it just down here? Oh, interesting. So it's basically like they call Mankind. It's got like gadgets in the store, so it's sort of like gaming stuff or like slush puppy machines, like sort of like really random crap. And like
Oh,
they
like
started
Pixel.
but
like gadgets and that stuff. Like they just
yeah,
sell
like
random.
loads of different like random crap, and they started to put like Funkos in there. So they had like loads of Funkos. Then obviously anime and manga blew up, so they've started to put anime figures in there, and they've got like Nendroids and stuff like that. So yeah, we hardly have anything. And then other than that, there's just like HMV, but you hardly have anything in there either. And when they do have them, they're like astronomically priced high, like so it's like why have you put it so high? It doesn't need to be that high. But yeah, like there's not really that many places, so I love the fact that they're starting to put figures on there. I would love to find like a site in the UK that has Q-Poskets for decent prices. I know Zavi has some and stuff, because I'm into that now. I think I've given up on the Funkos. I just think they're cute, but like the Q-Poskets, they actually look like the characters.
I saw some like Zavi like Q-Poskets where they said, "Oh, pre-order now" or something. But then I seen them in store. I'm like, interesting. That means like I'm thinking like, do they actually? I don't know. I haven't really shopped on Zavi much, so I don't know what it's like to buy Q-Poskets there. Actually, no, that's a lie. I have bought Q-Poskets from Zavi. They're my Rohan Q-Posket.
I love that one. So cute.
Gorgeous.
Where did I think Dekai anime? I don't know.
Dekai anime.
That's
I think
I pre-ordered from there.
Yeah.
I'm aggressively, when I get paid again, I'm going to be aggressively on the hunt for the Sailor Moon ones, because they've got the Sailor Moon Eternal ones. So from the movies, they've got them in their sailor outfits. They have the Inner Senshi in their school uniforms, and then they've started to. Yeah, like there's a new wave, and they've started to release the ones in their princess uniform. So you've got Neo Queen Serenity, like Pink Lady, and I always forget Tossido's mask's actual other name, but him in like the Neo outfit, and then the Inner Senshi in their princess outfits from the movie. They look so cute, so I'm definitely going to aggressively get them because they're so cute.
Nice. Shall we wrap up the live stream?
Yes.
Well,
yes. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was so nice to chat to you again.
Yeah.
And do these. It'd be nice to just like do them a bit shorter, like every now and again. I don't know.
An hour.
Yeah. If you haven't already, subscribe to me and go subscribe to these wonderful ladies.
Join our Discord that's linked down in the below. Give this video a like.
If it isn't, it will be.
And I hope you enjoyed it. Jump over to the Discord.
Yes, join the Discord if you haven't joined the Discord. I'm fairly sure that is linked down below. I think I did actually do that one. And there are links to all our other social medias, Instagram, TikToks, Twitters, on what other social media. I don't know.
TikTok. Although I haven't. Have we linked our TikToks on Discord yet? I don't even know how to link it on Discord. I'm so confused.
Mine's linked. I can walk you through linking yours if you like.
Okay. The help would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of weekend. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Whenever. Bye.
Whatever.